welcome to the Cracker Cold Ones podcast, where a couple of guys are going to enjoy some recently opened chilled beverages and pretend like we know what we're talking about. I'm guy number 1, Grayson.
I'm guy number 2, Jaime.
And I'm guy number 3, Kyle.
And this is the Cracker Cold Ones podcast. Let's crack into it, gents. Football.
Foosball.
So, for everybody that doesn't know, which is probably everyone watching right now, Kyle is a big fan of Russell Wilson. That's why he's wearing a Wilson jersey right now.
It's not a Russell Wilson jersey.
He's a big fan.
No,
so we wanted to have him on the podcast to talk about how much he loves Russell Wilson. Talk to him.
No, this is not a Russell. I do love Russell Wilson. This is not a Russell Wilson jersey. This is a chef's kiss Garrett Wilson jersey and their midnight jersey, their brand new jersey that they brought out last year in 2025. It is the greatest jersey we've had. Not the greatest.
I was going to say, actually, I don't know if I can argue with that one.
No, it's one of my favorites that we've recently had.
That's fair. Before we even talk about anything else, Breece Hall or Garrett Wilson? Who do you think is like more important, the better player? Like, who's critical to that team?
100% Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
running backs are exposable, in my opinion.
You're not wrong. I think a good running back it opens up the team a lot, but as good as Breece is, like, he didn't really get to do much. Like, when the line's awful, you can't do anything. A receiver, in theory, they just need someone to get them the ball. So there's a little
He's
bit.
He's still 1,000-yard back on how bad we are.
Yeah, and I think he would be so much better if the line was good. I'm not talking shit on Breece Hall literally at all. He's definitely like a top 10 running back right now, but
You're one of the few that believe that.
People want to talk mad shit about the Jets, myself included, but like you got to give them the flowers too. Like this whole season, everybody's been absolutely dogging them, and then like Aaron Glenn's the worst coach of all time. I'm like, it's a little early for that. Like they're burning the team down and starting over. This isn't really the time.
Year one, we're trying to.
Yeah, you literally traded every core piece, and we want to be like, damn, this team sucks. Like, yeah, it does, but that's kind of the process. We burn it down, and then we get a bunch of picks, and we build a team, and we'll get into the draft picks.
6 over the next 2 years to be exact.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's a good rebuild start. They got to hit on the draft picks, and all those players got to pan out. Like there's other steps in here, but I don't even have faith in Aaron Glenn as a coach. It's nothing like that. I just am like, I don't think you can grade him yet. It just doesn't make sense to.
Definitely not when you destroy the whole defense. That you know what I mean. It just kind of puts you in a swirl. But people like to judge quick. We'll see over the next couple of years what we do with it. We got a lot of picks, a lot of money, a lot of cap money,
lot of money.
So we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we do in the future, for sure.
Go Jets.
Yes, go New York.
Go New York.
Speaking about New York, basketball.
Basketball.
If you guys were watching.
Yeah. Go Knicks. We just watched them win by like 80 points or something insane. And the craziest thing is looked at it and I was just like, I'm not impressed. I'm just like, good job. That's what you're supposed to do. It feels weird to not give them props, but I'm just kind of like, okay. Where was this 4 games ago? Why have we gotten to this part of the series? Because we're supposed to do this the whole time, low-key.
No one gives New York their props ever. We don't get our flowers anymore.
They should have got a first-round bye type vibe, and they're very much fighting for their lives, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, go Knicks. Rockets are a team. They're coming back, I guess, but at this point I'm like, if old man Braun and Marcus Smart are the ones beating your ass, I think maybe we should just not be in the playoffs, but whatever, I guess.
When Bronny is outplaying your bench, it's kind of...
It's like, what are we doing, bro?
When you have 9 minutes, 7 points, 4 assists, 2 blocks or something like that, 2 rebounds. Yeah,
literally what's happening. But hey, that's the basketball. As far as the draft, we did our stream last week. We're working to get that uploaded to YouTube for anybody that couldn't tune in on Twitch. Kind of a last-minute move. Blame YouTube. I love you, YouTube. Sponsor me. But it's all your fault. So this week, we're going to kind of go through the off-seasons for all of the divisions, all the teams, kind of fast. And then we're going to spend a little more time on a few teams near and dear to our hearts, really getting into it. We'll have a little game at some point. And it's going to be a ton of fun. You guys want to say anything to the people before we really start getting into it?
Make sure you're cracking a cold one with us and
responsibly or something.
Yes, responsibly.
Or something is right.
Or something, yeah.
We're sponsored by drinking responsibly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And alcohol.
I'm ready to get into it. I don't really have much to say prior to that.
All right, let's hit it. So first up, we got the AFC North. Friendly reminder, this is the Browns, Steelers, Bengals, and Ravens. I will be getting deep into the Ravens in a little bit. But let's go over the other teams. You guys want to go like one by one down the line?
Yeah, we can just kind of jump around. Whoever has more of an opinion on each team.
If we're doing that, I give the Steelers a D. I think the biggest problem is they're waiting on the shriveled husk of a man that is Aaron Rodgers, and they're making no plans for when that might not happen. And then on top of that, I don't love the coach hiring. I don't love that, like, when they were talking about it, like, hey, we're rebuilding, we need a new coach, need a new, like, energy in the locker room, like, let's kind of turn things. But then they immediately changed their mind and were like, no, actually, we're running it back and we're going to make it to the playoffs again. I'm like, what are we doing, brother? It's going to be the same shit show, just with a different mic at the helm. I don't understand.
Yeah, I actually put him a little bit higher. I gave him you said you gave him a D?
Yeah, I gave him a D.
Yeah, I gave him a C. I wasn't a big fan of Mike Tomlin getting the boot as well. I'm not really sure why you would do that. He had 1 year where he didn't finish above 500. I believe in his whole career.
I think his whole career was above
500 or above. Okay.
And he said it was because basically they hadn't had the playoff success in the past few years, and he just felt like it was time for him personally. And he speaks highly of the Steelers. It seems like it was just a him choice.
Yeah.
Which good for him. He was talking about doing some commentating. I forget what channel, but that was potentially in the cards. Now there's rumors about him being a coach again, but we'll get into that when we get to that team. But yeah, I just feel like this has been a mess. I can't blame the Steelers all the way because you never expect your coach to like leave suddenly, and Aaron Rodgers is notoriously unreliable.
Absolutely.
But
I will say for all our viewers out there, the many viewers that we have,
thousands upon
do
millions.
not count your chickens before they hatch. I'm sure most of you guys saw the news. The Steelers were on the phone with Mekhi Lemon right before the Eagles swooped in, did a trade, and took him with the pick before. And was on the phone.
Did you see Howie Roseman is currently trying to get a tampering pick out of it because they were calling ahead. It wasn't their pick yet when they were calling Mekhi Lemon, so they're like, "That's tampering. You shouldn't have been on the phone with him."
Oh, I did not see that.
So not only did he jump over them with a division rival and screw them over, he's now like, also, I'm going to get mine. Give me a pick out of it. Like, Howie Roseman's a Sith Lord, brother. Yeah. I love it.
I mean, it's kind of on the Steelers. They should have thrown a flag or something. Like, hey,
yeah, flag on the play. This is our stadium, bro. What are you doing?
Pass interference.
False start.
False pick. Let's go.
Yeah, facts. I do feel a little bad for the Steelers because it sucks to get Lil Broed in your own household, but, like, that's the Eagles for you, man. They'll do anything to win. Great pickup by them. But... yeah, I don't really have a ton to say. Oh, Jaime, how do you feel about the Steelers?
I give them a C overall. I feel like it was dead in the center. And that's being generous because they hosted. So it was their house, their place, their fans.
Yeah.
So, and then with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, it's like, it doesn't matter who they get because who's throwing it to them if they don't have anybody. If they don't get, if Aaron does, I think he has until boot camp or training camp.
And even then, he doesn't show up to those usually, so he could technically take longer. But he had originally said that they'll get an answer by draft day.
Didn't give him an answer.
Yeah.
So I think in line, it's like Will Howard is the starting QB, and like
Oh, they just picked up. They picked up someone that they picked up a quarterback in the draft. Right?
Yeah, I think they did. It was.
I can't
was
remember.
It like Cade Klubnik or
no,
something?
that was the Jets. We picked him up.
Oh, that's right. No, it was. Drew I don't know. We'll find it real quick.
Drew Aller.
Drew Aller, yes.
Drew Aller.
I'm not particularly impressed by it. Honestly, I'd take Will Howard over him, and that's not saying that much. But, like, it's one thing if you don't know what Aaron Rodgers is up to and you want him back. I don't think that's, like, an objectively awful thing to want him back. He's still doing it. But
inside a dark room again?
Yeah, he's probably just lost in the woods or something. You can't really, like, blame them for being like, I don't know what's going on with him. It's the fact there's no backup plan, and at some point the season starts, and, like, what? You're just using your rookie or Will Howard? Like, there have been other quarterbacks up that you could have grabbed. They could have gone into the sweepstakes on some of these cheap dudes, and they didn't. So it's like there was just no attempt at planning, and that's really what I'm like, I can't respect that. On top of the draft was just okay for me, which is pretty textbook Steelers, honestly, to just kind of do okay when it comes to the draft. You get a pretty okay pick.
Yeah. All right, you want to move over to the Jets or the Browns now?
We're jumping straight to the Jets.
Not the Jets.
As far as the Browns, I gave them a B+.
Okay.
Again, this is grading the whole offseason. I think they had one of the best drafts of anybody. I really just didn't love their choice of head coach all the way. I thought it was okay. I haven't loved some of the moves that they've made, picking up like basically the fallen scraps of linemen because their entire line fell apart.
Yep.
Bringing Deshaun Watson to be the number one seems to be what's going on. So like, there's a bunch of stuff in there that I'm not in love with, but I did think their draft was phenomenal, and that's what kind of bumped this up to a B+, A- sort of thing. Like, they're kind of set up for success. It's just been a long road to get there.
Yeah. I'll let you go first, Jaime, if you have any big topics you want to talk about with them.
Yeah, I was really hoping for Deshaun to come back. I don't know why. I just love the chaos, the entertainment. It brings the people to their seats. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, like Grayson said, they had a really good draft pick. At the end of the day, I gave him a B-. Yeah, I gave him a B-. I wanted to give him higher, but then I had to consider Deshaun Watson as quarterback. And then I had to consider the fact that they're the Browns, so...
Yeah. You have to give them a B because they're the Browns.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think I was sitting at like a D for most of the offseason, but then the draft was so good that I was like, well, I got to give them a lot better because they had like arguably a top 3 draft in the league. So it is carrying a lot of the load, but hopefully they're set up for success. They grabbed a couple of fantastic wide receivers that I really liked and made some smart moves, picking up some other like... they didn't really reach on anybody. I feel like they just got some steals. So just a great draft. But
kudos to their GM. So hopefully,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually went and gave them y'all gave them both B's. I gave them an A.
I think that's fair.
And here's where y'all both kind of talked about. I think any coach is an upgrade from Stefanski, in my opinion. I think he doesn't know how to run an offense. I think he is lost. The fact that they're taking out a quarterback and just running a wildcat with 5 yards or less in the
that was bad.
All year long, I think is the craziest thing. I love the draft, like y'all said. I love Casey Concepcion. I thought Denzel Boston was a massive steal in the second round.
Yeah,
I think most mock drafts had him going in the first or late first.
Yeah, I think he was like a top 18 pick.
Yeah, and they scooped him in the second round. I thought both those were really good. I think Jerry Jeudy's on his way out. It still helps. I think Harold Fannin, he had a stud first year.
Yeah.
I have him on my fantasy team, so I know a lot about him.
Oh yeah, I picked him up late in the year. Like he really turned the corner.
So I think their offense got a giant boost. Hopefully Quinshon Judkins can come back healthy. I know he obliterated his leg.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be out there with a big leg, but I hope so.
We'll see what he does when he comes back. But yeah, I gave him an A. The draft was definitely an A. The offseason for the most part was pretty mid. Besides, again, I'm giving a huge jump to the coach hire. I think it doesn't matter. They could have hired anyone. Maybe not anyone, but like 90% of coaches.
I really don't hate that. I'm not a Kevin Stefanski supporter. I hold Kevin Stefanski with an asterisk. I don't think all the like coach of the years matter. If you get the Browns to the playoffs, then you get coach of the year. But the Browns also held him back a lot. He's said pretty publicly that he was really pissed off about the Watson trade. So I'm like, I don't know how much he actually got to do, but his play calling was mad questionable
at the end of the day,
times.
he didn't have decisions on what the organization did, but he had a decision on Sundays.
Yeah,
and
there
didn't do any decisions.
I think he just hated Shedeur Sanders for some reason. He refused to put the ball in that man's hand. And Shedeur is not the best quarterback, but still, like, when he's got the hot hand, you just give it to him, you know? Mm-hmm. Jumping into the Bengals, I gave them a C+.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I think the big thing that brings them down this year is they lost Trey
Hendrickson.
So
that defense is still a problem. They kept their coach, which honestly made me want to give him an F. Literally everyone else in the AFC North was like, it's time to move on. But then Zach Taylor stays on. But draft was pretty good. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. But they did target some important stuff that they need. Like they're making smart moves to fix the defense pretty heavily. It's really just that I'm like, this is the same shit, different day. Like, it's the same coach. We're running it back. We didn't change the offense good. but we're not actually like helping Burrow all that much. We're just slightly beefing up the defense while also letting Trey Hendrickson walk when that's like unacceptable. So meh.
Yeah, I'm meh as well. Pretty much hit all the points I was gonna say, so I'm right there with you on that. I think I have them as the worst offseason out of that division.
I do too, and that's even with I don't have them as the worst in my grade, but I think emotionally they are. I am grading the Steelers. I'm like curving the grade down a bit for the Steelers because the Aaron Rodgers waiting makes me mad. But I do think that they've had probably one of the worst off seasons in the whole NFL, low-key. But how you feeling about the Kitty Cats?
I gave him an M for a meh.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you have for having a great cannon of a quarterback and not giving him ammo. That just really sucks. So I wanted to give him higher. I mean, it's good that they added more to the defense, but they need offense. That's the whole thing. Burrows wants to move out because he has nobody to throw it to.
Well, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't have a problem with the offense.
That's like two guys out of 11.
I mean, but the two of the best. You know, T. Higgins is a wide receiver one for
I think
31
T.
other
Higgins
teams.
is the best wide receiver too.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I think he would be wide receiver one on almost every other team in the league. Obviously, there's guys better.
The brakes a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's better than every, but he's like an easy top 10 dude. There's a lot of teams that he would be their number one guy. I don't have a problem with the offense, except that the line is trash every year. But Burrow has to win these games like 47-43. That's the worst score I could have said, but I don't care. The defense just like rolls over and is like, pass me by.
Yeah.
And that was with Trey Hendrickson. So now you don't have him, and we just like put Band-Aids on it. I don't think anyone's going to replace him 1-to-1. They've gotten a lot of pieces, so hopefully it's enough to kind of like make them serviceable, but I just have my doubts.
Yeah. Watching the Bengals play is very frustrating because they come so close. Like, if you've seen their games, it's like they lose by like a few points,
and it's so high scoring every time.
Yeah, their games are so high scoring, and they usually start ahead and then they just lose the lead at the very end, or they're just right behind the lead, like by a couple points.
They just keep trailing them.
Because all it takes is Burrow to make one mistake, and then they kind of lost the game because he has to play perfect, and that's just like unrealistic. You can't win football like that.
Yeah.
Getting into the Ravens.
Oh, I'm gonna cut you off there.
I am gonna talk a bunch about them soon, so we don't need to go balls deep.
I have them written down as an A, and then I did, but while talking about Trey Hendrickson, I remembered what you guys did, so automatically, I don't care how good it was, I'm giving y'all an F. I have to.
Whoa.
I think what y'all did was so slimy, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah,
but
we'll get more into Maximilian Crosby. I gave him a B-, and that's heavily skewed because of the Max Crosby nonsense. I think overall, besides that, like if you take out that factor, I think their offseason looks so much better because they keep more core pieces. Like Linderbaum and stuff like that, but they were planning for it and then didn't do it. I think they have bounced back from that really well, in all honesty. I liked their draft a lot. They didn't pick up a center, but they even said, they were like, we were going for him, but they just flew off the board, and we were like, what the hell? Like, why are teams grabbing centers? But it was such a bad guard draft that people were grabbing centers to put at guard, which you can't predict. So I liked their draft. I liked most of their offseason, but there's a giant black hole of Max Crosby in the middle that kind of makes the whole thing worse.
Yeah, I can't get over what you guys did. So, and then the new coach hire.
I like him.
Yeah, I don't mind him either, but I mean, he's no Harbaugh. That's all.
I mean, but
he's no Harbaugh though. And Harbaugh's been there for so long. He's like staple.
Harbaugh to me is kind of a Stefanski situation.
No.
Like I'm not taking anything away from what he's been, but looking at what he has been these last few years, he's choking leads, he's losing games like awful that he really shouldn't. He's not drafting the same that they used to, which I know is more GM than him, but he does make a lot of those decisions. He's talked about how he's kind of an everything sort of coach, and I don't know how much of that is him versus like things just not clicking or needed a new face, but like I have question marks around Harbaugh, and sometimes you just need a different person to come in. I like Minter. Lamar's best season was with Jesse Minter, so I have a lot of faith that it could work. You never know with a new coach though. So
absolutely, I mean it's gonna be a learning curve that they're gonna have to deal with. It's a whole lot of first years for them, so
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, you want to talk about my birds?
About your birds, about
Yeah.
your
Again, we're talking more about the Ravens soon, so you don't need to get super crazy into it.
Yeah.
But if you want to bring up anything real quick.
just the Lamar Jackson thing. So, I mean, he is coming back from an injury, so I guess we'll see from there
Yeah.
whether he performs as how he used to be, or maybe that they find somebody else. I doubt it, but
They do have his contract coming up for an extension soon too, and last time that was a whole ass shit show. So we'll see.
Whole debacle.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought their draft was fine. I think I gave him a B. Yeah, a B minus. I think I gave him. So, not mad, not super stoked about it. They're the Ravens. At the end of the day, they're pumped every year, so they're definitely gonna be making moves to get to the playoffs again.
Twinsies.
And let's jump into the AFC South, the strongest division in football. Let's fucking go. Outside of the NFC. Let's start with a positive one. The Jaguars got an F.
I gave him an F as well.
I thought this offseason was awful.
They just lost.
They did nothing. They lost a bunch of pieces.
Lost.
Didn't make up for it at all. And then their draft was just a bunch of reaches. Like, every single player just stank of, like, I know better than the NFL, so I'm going to grab this guy.
Yeah.
If you make 8 reaches, like, yeah, maybe you'll find a gem there, and that's cool. But it's okay to just take the consensus good guy. Like, we don't have to reach on everybody. Because I feel like odds are maybe 2, maybe if we're lucky, half of those pan out. And then, like, your draft looks like shit. You basically didn't have an offseason.
You lost your running back.
Yeah, they were red hot coming out of the season. A rough playoff loss that really you just have to chalk up to Superman. But other than that, like, they were really going down the stretch. And now I'm like, I feel like you lost all of that momentum in the offseason for me.
I agree. I thought they just lost more in this offseason.
Yeah.
I think there's only one other team that I think lost worse than them. And there's only one team. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah.
I did have one other F.
I think they had the second worst offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much looking up the draft, like the Jaguars were nowhere to be found, nothing to be talked about, nothing good to be said. It was just kind of
it's like most teams have that, like, ooh.
Yeah, but literally everyone on their list, I was like, never heard of you before in my life. And I don't know every draft prospect by any means, but I know, like, the top 100, top 150 guys, I at least recognize a name, even if I didn't, like, watch a bunch of tape. Mm-hmm. If I don't know a single person on your draft list, then, like, we're reaching. And we're proud of it, too. It's like, you know, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
That's right.
Yeah, most teams has something to talk about, and then when it comes to Jacksonville, it's just like nothing. And I was about to say something, but yeah, last year they had a good momentum going, and it's kind of hard in between seasons to transfer that energy over. So can they replicate that again this upcoming season? I don't think so. Just saying all the stuff they lost, and then they just keep losing. I gave them a D. A big fat D followed by a couple equal signs and a fat 8 at the end.
I like that.
Just how terrible their draft picks are. It's like their GM didn't really care, or they didn't really put thought into it. It was just kind of like, whoa, pick someone.
Yeah. He's talked about it, and I think it made it worse for me because it wasn't like we did what we had to do. It was like he came out there and just said, like, we found the guys that we wanted. Yeah. And I was like, okay, you guys need to stop smelling your own farts because, like, you're not all geniuses. Like, it's okay to just... Everybody makes draft boards and guys fall to certain spots. That does not mean they're always the right person to be there. I don't think every single one of those is right, and you have to consider scheme and blah, blah, blah. But you think the entire NFL is wrong on every single one of these guys, and we're smarter?
They're like, oh, we made the playoffs. I think we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we also lost in the first round.
Yeah.
So, like, I think maybe you could learn something. But Titans. We do have a little bit of news with the Titans. The president of the organization did step down, so we'll see, who ends up taking that spot and what comes of that. But as far as their offseason, I gave them an A-.
That's higher than mine. I gave them a B+.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. But still up there. I think they had a really good offseason.
Yeah, I love the coach hire. I really like the Daboll hire as well as the OC. I think he's a great developer of talent. So it's great for Cam Ward. They they made some picks in the draft that I wasn't all the way on board with. Like, I didn't love Carnell Tate at 4. I feel like you could have traded back and maybe grabbed him in a few picks. I like the pick for them. I just think you could have maybe gotten something out of it. And they had a couple other ones that were like that where I was like, it's a good pick. I don't have like a huge issue with it. I just think you maybe could have, finesse this a little bit more. But overall, I think they've had a good offseason. They've made a lot of smart moves, and they're setting up Cam Ward for success, building up that defense. And I have a lot of faith in Saleh as a coach. I think he got kicked out of New Jersey way too fast when it really had nothing to do with him. That defense was disgusting when he was with the team.
Such a good defense.
Yeah, it was nasty. So, if he can just do that and Dable can handle Cam Ward, I feel like this team could almost immediately turn it around because there are a lot of good pieces.
They picked up 3 Jets. Yeah. They got John Franklin Myers, who was on the Jets, then went to the Broncos. They traded for Jermaine Johnson, an edge. So they lost Sweat, but I'm happy about Sweat, but I think it helps them more. I think it helped both of us. I think they needed an edge, we needed a tackle. So I think it works out for both of us. And then adding Quincy Williams.
Yeah,
I will die in this. I think Quincy Williams is one of the best. I know people are going to be like, oh, you're a Jets fan, so you believe. I think stat for stat, I think he goes toe-to-toe with any of them. I think his speed, his like ball knowledge, how quick he is to see what's going on in the play, if it's a sweep, if it's a counter run or whatever it is. He's so fast just to get there and get behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
his tackles behind the line of scrimmage were insane. And then his celebration is just, in my opinion,
I think he's very underrated. So, and these are all guys that Saleh's worked with. He knows how they play. He knows what he wants. I do have a lot of faith in a quick Titans turnaround because I don't think they were that far off last season, roster-wise. They just had a mess of an organization and a bad coach that just couldn't put it together. But Saleh has done a lot with a little before, so imagine him with full reign. I think they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine. I gave them a B++ on their draft. I think they did pretty well. They got a good couple of weapons that they can utilize, and they need it for sure. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna give them I gave them a B++ for their draft, but I gave them a D for their franchise. I would have given them an F, but I don't have any Fs to give for that whole for the Titans at all.
I like how you have puns for all of them. That's been fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy this.
The Titans are the Titans. They're gonna suck either way.
We'll have our protein before we eat our cake. As far as the Colts, I gave them a B. They didn't have a ton to work with because they just made really bold moves during the season. And I've said before, I don't hate that they did those moves. I think it was smart in the spot that they were at. You can't predict a historic collapse like they had with just brutal injuries. They made the Hail Mary with Phillip Rivers. It didn't work out. But you go into this draft without a first-round pick this year or next year. Yep. You had to lose some key players. I think they did decent draft-wise, just kind of fine. But honestly, I was kind of just being nice giving them a B. This was a pretty bad offseason for them. I just don't know that you could do much better with the way the season ended. So I was like, they're fine. I don't think they'll be much... I don't think they'll be better than last season, but I think they'll be probably just slightly worse. Hopefully.
Hopefully for me, yeah. We have their pick, so hopefully they are worse.
I wouldn't be surprised with how tough this division is now for the Colts to look really bad next year, but they almost went on that miracle run. They just tripped at the midway point.
Yeah, they just kept tripping and tripping over their own shoelaces. I was hyped for them after they went, what was it, 7-0?
7-0 or
7-1, traded for Sauce, and then went 1-7.
Yeah,
or something. It was something like that.
Yeah, I think they didn't win with Sauce. They had one win. Okay, they did. I remember at one point he was 0-14 as a person or something. And it was that sucks. It's never been his fault really. He's fantastic, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So
they also got that wide receiver that's one of the top wide receivers.
Oh, Alec Pierce. Or you mean in the draft?
No, probably Alec Pierce.
Yeah, they have Alec Pierce as their wide receiver one. I think it was maybe their wide receiver 2 last season, but
Pittman's gone.
Yeah, Michael Pittman's gone now. I have no problem with that. I wasn't super impressed with him, and I think Alec Pierce is a very, very good wide receiver. I don't think he's a top 10 guy necessarily, but he is a do-it-all, very good receiver that kind of had his breakout finally. And he's huge, so like you can do a lot with him. He's not as good as George Pickens, but he's kind of got a similar frame for me. So I feel like you can develop him into a slightly worse Pickens, and that's an easy wide receiver one. So you know, and they have one of the best running backs in football. So
that's true. I give their offseason a C. I think there's just too much unknown. I think there's an unknown at quarterback. There's a whole lot of reports that say that Daniel Jones is going to be back for off-season practice. Then there's reports saying he won't be back for the first half.
Yeah.
I think that whole, and then the fact that they're talking about having Anthony Richardson play quarterback then, I think that right there immediately gives them a C. I think right there, I think losing Pittman, I think would have fallen to wide receiver 2. I think he could have been a really good wide receiver 2.
I don't disagree.
They're running, Jonathan Taylor I think is great.
But when you got Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, you got Pierce, like you have enough weapons that if everyone stays healthy, if they have a quarterback, then I think they'll be good to go. But Daniel Jones needs to go back to miracle form, and he has to come back quickly. And yeah, I've seen the same stuff. Like some of the projections are like, oh, he'll be back by the start of the season. Sometimes it's like, oh, in the offseason. And then I've seen as late as like week 8, week 12. Yep. And it's like, if you're dealing with that, Anthony Richardson's not, dependable. And then I don't even remember the name of their backup guy that played a couple games last year, and I kind of don't care.
Like I really could care less about him.
He looked pretty good down the stretch, but like I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a shit. So like, we'll see. I think C is probably more fair, but I was being kind of nice because I just don't even know what you would do with the dumpster fire that was the end of that season.
Yeah, C+ for me as well, and F for the franchise for Phillip Rivers. Come back.
But let's get to our dessert and eat it right up. Let's talk about the Houston motherfucking Texans. I gave him a B+. I thought the draft was just okay.
Really?
I liked the picks, but I didn't love them. I feel like we are greedy as fuck. I liked the offseason overall. I just don't think that we fully fixed all of the problems, and I did not love that we already grabbed Stroud's 5th-year option. I kind of wanted to dangle that carrot, if I'm being honest. I understand for morale and things like that. It's kind of just a difference in mindset. I've loved basically all the trades. I loved all of the re-ups and everything. But yeah, I didn't adore the draft. I just liked it. I think the tackle that we got, fantastic. Loved it. And the the defensive tackle, Caden McDonald. Isn't that his name, Caden McDonald? Loved that. I think we absolutely stole him. It was a greedy-ass decision because it's not the biggest need, but when you see him still available in the second round, like, that's a fucking steal. And that was a spot of need for us. So, like, as much as it wasn't the biggest need in the world, it does make that defense just, like, I don't know what you do. We stop the run now. So it's like,
better.
Yeah, literally, it's like we were the best defense in football before. At this point, I don't know what you do to stop the Texans. Yeah. So I just think the line, as much as we've invested a lot in it, I don't have full faith. We didn't really help out the wide receiver room.
Y'all have Tank Dell coming back. I know.
Maybe.
There are Texans fans I've talked to, and they're hype about him.
I would love if he comes back. I just don't want him
If he comes back how he was playing, I think that's huge for y'all.
Yes.
He hasn't played in coming up on almost a year and a half?
Yeah, like a year and a half, because he got injured in the playoffs before. So, I mean, we'll see if he even can. He started working out, and it's looking positive, but he just had such a gnarly injury that you never know. And then after Nico Collins, it's a bunch of guys entering their second year now. They had flashes, but it's just it's not the best wide receiver room. So I'm just kind of questionable about the offense, but I love Montgomery. I love that trade. I like the picks that we got in the draft. We got a blocking tight ends, which is kind of whatever, but like good for if we want to do that, like 13 personnel, 12 personnel sort of stuff. And great for the run game. So if we're just investing heavy in the run game, love it. But I just still have questions. So B+ I think was fair for me.
Yeah, I surprisingly, only because of how good their defense is and that they added to it, I give them an A+. I don't think you can really fix that much. I think it was either one or the other. I thought they personally did great adding to the O-line. I think they added a lot. They added that guard in the draft. I thought they added quite a bit of people. They got rid of the bad players. They were like, oh, you want to go during offseason? Go ahead. Go. I think they added some pieces. No flashy names. I think it's just kind of a new brand they put on their O-line. So hopefully that works out. Kind of puts C.J. Stroud back on the right track to being what he was 2 years ago. He had a decent year 2 years ago, and then obviously his rookie year was wonderful.
Yeah, his rookie year was phenomenal, and then second year he still looked great, but had a couple of downs. So
I also gave him an A+ only because I thought Caden McDonald was a steal in the second round.
Oh my
he was
God,
projected to go in the middle to late first, and the fact that y'all got him in the second, in my opinion, on that defense, which I'm a Jets fan, I've seen good defenses, I would say is one of the greatest defenses that will probably go down in history.
I agree.
I think a lot of people will hate it, but I think the people who are unbiased to the Texans and just football in general, or just football fans, can all agree that the Texans defense is going to be one of the greatest defenses ever played. And now that they're adding to it, we also got Blankenship too, right? The safety.
Blankenship.
So got Blankenship added a little bit to y'all's safeties or your secondary as well. You didn't lose anyone on the secondary.
Yeah. No one really left on the defense.
You still have Stingley and you still have Petrie.
Yeah.
So and
Petrie, man.
Petrie, friend of the show.
That's my guy. He's his own position.
No, but facts. I think this defense is historic, and if you want to argue that, I am very firm in believing it was the number one defense last season. People got really uppity towards the end. And
people were like, Broncos.
Yeah, and I was like, no, it's not been the Broncos. They're great. They were top 3 for sure, and Seahawks were as well. But like Texans definitively had the best defense, and we just made it objectively better. So like you can win with that defense, but if we have an offensive collapse again, then it's over. And I liked all of the moves. Like, I'm not saying that any of them were bad. I just don't have like no question marks going into the season. I don't think the offense is fully fixed, but that defense can win you games. Literally, just don't turn over the ball and you'll win. Honestly, it'll be like 7-0.
Don't have turn over the 9 turnovers in the playoffs, and y'all make it further.
Facts. I think the defense still scored twice. Like dead ass, just don't turn over the ball and you win the game. That's all it takes. I don't give a fuck if he doesn't get a touchdown all year. Don't get an interception all year. I'm ecstatic.
That would be a story if that doesn't
happen. It would be crazy. But I mean, we've kind of seen that before with Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom. Like, he didn't really do that well, but the defense was just so fucking gnarly. And this is that level of defense. Like,
easily.
Ugh, love it. Ugh. But we'll get more into the Texans soon. I just can't help but gush. Jaime, was there anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, let me crack into this review. To this grade.
Beautiful.
I was waiting for that. Let's hear your grade.
All right. Like John Cena said, you can't see me. The time is now. This is the time. Because like they said, the defense has never been better. We just got... How many did we add to the defense? Like 2 or 3 guys from the draft?
Yeah, I think 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah, the main one.
McDonald was the biggest.
Yeah,
we
McDonald.
Got some great depth pieces.
Yeah,
well.
McDonald was the biggest piece. We tweaking up the defense. The defense has been our offense pretty much because they've been scoring the most points in the last couple of games from this past season. So. If they can't capitalize on, because people guys are getting older, contracts are expiring, life happens, so we need these. We have the tools, we have the weapons, we have to do it now. I was about to say Deshaun Watson, but that was a couple years ago. But
he's not allowed back in the city of Houston.
Y'all definitely added. I mean, y'all just signed extension for Will Anderson.
Yeah, and
gave an extension to Neil Hunter and Aziz. So I think.
And Nico Collins, I think they're
with how bad y'all's division's offseason was, I think it's bust or it's boom or bust for y'all really, because you can't just now give another year for them to catch up, because if you do that, then now it's gonna be an ever cycle of who's gonna have the division. I think this year will be without a doubt Texans by far taking over this division. I don't think there's another team that can compete with them.
I don't really either, because I don't think the Titans turn it around quite that fast, and the Jags are looking like a mess. Colts are a mess. So I mean, I do think that they take the division. They're one of my front runners for the Super Bowl, and that's me trying to be unbiased. That's not even on some like hometown shit. I just think that defense can win a Super Bowl. But I think even if you win the AFC Championship or like make it to the AFC Championship, that we're finally progressing and beating the hump. So that's a win. But so many of the big dogs in the AFC are a mess right now that it really is like the throne's up for grabs. Texans defense alone could take it, and just like Stroud can sit on the sideline.
It just comes down to CJ Stroud.
It really does.
He has to hopefully, I'm pretty sure they're working with him as we speak. With that 5-year contract, they're just not gonna throw those 5 years away. They have to.
Oh, it's just the extension. So 1 more year after this.
Oh,
one.
right.
Yeah. So no contract extension yet. But we picked up the 5th year option. So you pay him a bunch of money for the 1 extra.
So,
You don't have to re-up it just yet.
So this is CJ Stroud's year. Otherwise,
Prove it deal.
It really is.
And there's a lot of quarterbacks next year.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do well.
If he doesn't look good, I'd say I was like, don't give him the 5th
quarterback.
year yet, and prep to draft a quarterback just in case. Because you just don't know. He started so fucking hot, and then he has fallen off a cliff. So
it's just been down. It was up here, and it has just only gone down.
And there's plenty of things to blame that on, like the line
injuries,
absolute trash,
linemen.
So I don't think it's fully on him by any means, but he looks like he's seeing ghosts. Like
he's
Darnold
just
out
as
there,
lost as the rest of the offense.
Yeah, so at a point you have to be like, even if he is a great quarterback, he might just not be the one for us if we can't like set him up for success. So we'll see.
Yeah. So B++ for me. Big D. B++. Wow. I want to give him more, but
did I go too high on him?
Probably.
I give an A+ because of how bad the rest of the division is.
I don't think that. I wasn't really considering the division.
Yeah.
I was really just considering the team. So I think if you're grading for the curve like that, you can easily be like, I mean, yes. Especially looking across the whole AFC. Like, the Texans look like one of the biggest dogs out there, honestly. So I don't hate it at all. Yeah. We are going real slow and have other stuff we're going to do, so we're going to go a little bit faster.
All right, let's do it.
Kicking in overtime.
Bills
C.
Yeah, I gave him C as well. Didn't do much, didn't add much, didn't lose much. So, like, I'm just kind of right in the middle. I'm with you as well.
They were mid in the season. They didn't like the coach hire. They didn't really fix much. Whatever.
Yep.
They traded out of the first round like 4 times. Whatever.
Yeah, same. C. But go Bills and go Josh Allen.
Congrats on your baby, brother. Dolphins. I give a B-, a very weird B- that I don't feel great about. I hate where the Dolphins are at. But with so many picks, they did make good choices, kind of. They also made really bad ones. I really didn't know how to grade the Dolphins. Yeah. It's like an entire organization on fire, but you have so many picks and so many holes that, like, all of these players will hit because they can't be worse. Yeah. So I don't think the Dolphins will be good, but I guess it was fine. I don't know.
I'll let you go first, Jaime.
Yeah, I gave him a F. Who cares?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's fair. I just didn't know what to do.
I did not
I
care.
gave him...
I didn't even bother to research anything.
I gave him an F. They just lost everyone. They lost Tyreek. They lost Waddle. Tua's gone as well.
Some of these I'm okay with.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get rid of all of them at the same time with how bad y'all are. The fact that you got rid of your whole offense. That was your... well, now it's A-Chain. A-Chain was their offense last year.
Yeah,
but
and Malik Willis, for some reason, I don't even understand why you pick him up if you're going to put him with this situation. Like, they're making decisions I don't understand.
They didn't add anything to it. No. Like it would have made more sense if they went and took a wide receiver in the draft early. They took a wide receiver, but they took him like... third or fourth round, something like that.
So they're ripping the thing down to the studs and getting a lot for it, which I don't hate. But then I don't think we've seen any of that come to fruition. And they were so willing to trade around and let people jump over them in the first round that I was like, what are you guys doing? You have like more draft capital than damn near anybody. Like you can make swings, but instead you're like, oh, you wanted Caleb Downs? Well, you can have him.
Maybe they're trying to be ass this year so they can go up higher on that.
Yeah. They're tanking for Arch, most likely, which is fine, I
Probably.
guess. But, you know.
Or we'll tank harder.
At least
Battle of the Tankers.
Battle of the Tanks.
Patriots. I have a C for adultery.
I have E for entertainment.
That's fair. Honestly, the Patriots lost a fair amount of stuff. Didn't gain a ton. I did like the Romeo Dobbs pickup. I do like the DJ... Was it that? No, that was the Bills. DJ Moore was the Bills. What else did the Patriots do? Didn't they get Romeo Dobbs, or was that the Bills?
Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, they got Romeo Dobbs. They're probably trading for AJ Brown, but they mostly just kind of lost stuff. Their draft was so. All the attention's been on Mike Vrabel and his escapades, and more keeps coming out about that. I don't even know.
He got tampering with trading for players as well.
Yeah, so it's just a mess over there. But I think objectively they haven't really gotten better. So I gave him a C because it doesn't look great.
Yeah, I gave him a V for Vrabel.
I almost did that too. I almost gave him a V for Vrabel.
We all had puns for it. I think this is the one we all had puns for the
I was like, I don't know what the fucking say about
really
this
don't
Patriots.
care.
That dude completely embarrassed his whole franchise and his whole staff and his whole team. Like, the dude's a joke, and at this point, I mean, I'm not surprised because a cheater is always a cheater. They've been having controversy since Tom Brady has been in
Deflategate. The Deflategate.
Yeah,
Deflategate.
2.56 pounds, people, on that football. I still haven't gotten over it.
Yeah. For Jets, I gave him an A. Right down the middle A, no A+, no A-. Yeah. I got issues with some of the offseason, but I think they did great in the draft. There was a couple of people that I wouldn't necessarily have picked with some of their like dope-ass picks, but overall, I think they made a lot of smart moves and grabbed a lot of great players.
I gave them an A as well. I'll explain why. I think the A is more for just... I gave them an A for how bright their future is, as well as I felt like how well they did in this offseason. I don't think we're going to be amazing this year. I think we just put ourselves in a really good position for the future. Yeah. Well, now, if we're going to be the Jets and do nothing with it, well, then that's, no surprise. If we do something with it, I'm going to be very happy about it. But I'll speak about it more later when that time comes. So
yeah, this is a like start of a rebuild season. So like they made a bunch of good moves in that direction, but they're not going to turn it around in a day. So we'll have to see. But yeah, what you got, man? Talk about the Jets.
Yeah, this whole franchise is a project. Like I feel like they always get built up and then the rug just gets pulled right under it.
Yeah, they fire the coach right when the team's starting to look good.
Aaron Rodgers is coming. Oh gosh, 10-6.
You probably do when they marched him out with the American fucking flag and then he tore his.
All right, that's my time. I've actually had it. Wait. Oh no, my house got struck by lightning.
Yeah, that's a Jets fan for you. That is still one of my favorite things that's ever happened in the NFL, bro. Him marching out like a fucking war hero and then immediately tearing his ACL or whatever the fuck he did.
The highlight reel was phenomenal. It was that and then him just laying on the ground holding his leg, which hurt me at the time. I think now I can laugh about it because I don't think we would have done anything with him that year anyways.
No, I don't think it really mattered. It's just really funny to have that juxtaposed so close together of like supreme hope, we're getting the fucking guy, and then immediately ripping that apart.
He's the only player that had his full season highlights in the first night of the NFL season that year. So, hey, we break records. That's all I know.
Amen. No interceptions.
That's right.
Got it.
Dang.
Quarterback died within 12 minutes.
No one can get better than us. No one can go negative. They can only tie us now. So,
I guess you can't get worse. I was like, if you intercept and fumble it, but then that is an interception.
Doesn't matter. Still
There's no way.
No, you cannot get worse than what we did.
If you pick up a fumble and then you try to lateral it into an interception, I think that's the only way it can get worse because then you have a negative one.
Interception.
Yeah, it's just close enough that I would give it to you. Was this the same? No, I think it was the Titans that like fumbled it into a touchdown or something. It might have been the Titans against the Jets. It was a mess of a fucking play whenever that happened.
I'm drawing right there. I don't really know. But yeah, I will jump over to
AFC West.
Well, it's gonna be an A for me for torn Achilles. So
Amen.
Let's move on.
Ouch.
Chiefs, I gave an A-. They have a shit ton of holes, but I think they did a decent enough job working on them. I just didn't love some of the re-signs, like the Kelsey re-sign. I probably would have traded Chris Jones. Like I think they could have made it more aggressive moves when you recognize like the hole you're in. But I think with not doing those moves, they did a really good job. So I'll give him an A-.
I gave him a C. I'm tired of people just riding him to the sun. I'm over it. I thought the Kenneth Walker the Kenneth Walker trade was great. That helps a lot. But besides that, I wasn't too impressed with really anything else. So I'm kind of over the hype of them all and ready for it just to go downhill for him. That's my opinion. I get C.
C for Chiefs.
Yeah, pretty solid. I gave him a B.
I think it's fine.
It's fine. Like once Patricio comes back, we'll get the whole team back together and we'll see what happens after that. Patricio.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
Patrick.
Oh, I was like Pacheco. I was like, I don't know.
Kermit the Frog.
Patricio's the Spanish.
Yeah, no, Pacheco's with the Lions now.
He's gone, isn't he?
Broncos, I gave a B-. B for Bronco because the team was pretty damn good. You don't need to do much, but they lost a couple things and didn't really gain anything, and they didn't fix the couple of problems they had. So I was like, I mean, you guys didn't really like get worse, but you really didn't get that much better either.
Yeah, I gave them a B as well. There was a couple teams that I gave higher, so like I did with the Texans, I gave A+ because you can't get really much better than they were on defense, but they did. Broncos kind of the same thing, nothing flashy. I think they added just more depth really than anything. They didn't lose really any big. They lost, like I said, they lost John Franklin Myers to the Titans, but I don't think that's end all be all. I think their D line was already so good anyways.
Oh, I forgot about the Jalen Waddle trade. I'll give him a B instead of a B-, because I did think that was a good move. I'll give him a B+, because honestly they didn't have that much to fix. So Jalen Waddle I think does a lot for that offense. And that was kind of one of the only problems. The run game is still a little spotty. I think you could have done more there, but again, when your team is like really solid, it's kind of hard to make a bunch of sick ass moves without tearing the whole thing down. So
yeah, C+. I thought it was pretty solid. I don't have any complaints about it. They tweaked some things here and there, and I enjoyed them watching them last year. So
I think it's hard to really, unless they do something drastic, give them any higher than that because they were already so good anyways, and they didn't make it to the Super Bowl because of only Bo Nix getting hurt. They in the Super Bowl. They don't win the Super Bowl, but I think they at least make it to the Super Bowl. They for sure beat the Patriots if they had Bo Nix there.
Agreed. Raiders, I gave an A+. I thought this was one of the best off seasons in football. Honestly, I have like almost no notes. I didn't like fully agree with every last pick and every last move or whatever, but I mean, if you're gonna turn around a franchise, I think this is one of the best examples I can think of. Like, I'm tearing out everything that doesn't work. I'm fixing as many problems as I can. I'm accepting that I can't fix everything at once, but I'm doing everything to set up for not just this next season, but the one after. Stuff like the Kirk Cousins pickup and getting Fernando Mendoza so that he has someone to train behind and learn. I really don't have much bad to say. We'll see if the money holds together with the Max Crosby deal falling through. That will likely fuck them down the line at some point. But there's still a good chance that they can find a way to trade him and make it all line up or something. So, yeah, A+. I'm not going to hold the Max Crosby falling through against them. That really had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, I think this is one of the few A's I'm going to give out for the Raiders.
Wow.
They had a good draft, and they really needed all of these guys for sure. And Fernando Mendoza, like, what a good pick. Like, I heard that they were going to skip him, and they were just going to go pick somebody else.
There was no shot they were skipping.
Yeah,
wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah, wouldn't have made sense, but. Luckily they got, they stuck with Mendoza, and hope he's gonna be under. Would they play him? Do you think they'll play him?
I think he'll play in the off season, and I think depending on how the season goes, I could see Mendoza getting some playtime later in the year. But I don't think they start
Kirk. They didn't pay Kirk a ton of money, so they may start Mendoza right away. But, I mean, it doesn't hurt just to let Kirk play a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're going for a playoff push this year, so let Kirk play. Let him sit behind Kirk a little bit.
Yeah,
let him kind of get used to the vibe and everything, how the pace of it. Let him. He's going to play in the offseason, I'm sure, at least a little bit. Mendoza is.
Yeah.
So I let him get a feel for that. Let him kind of digest that. Go and watch film of actual. Because that's offseason is one thing. When it becomes a regular season, it's a whole nother thing. I don't mind them letting him sit for a little bit. Even if it's only like a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks, and then after that they're like, "Oh, we're 0-4." Well, we'll just put him in and just let him go out there and do what he's got to do.
And if the season looks okay, you're like 6-2, like ride Kirk for a little bit. I see no issue with Mendoza not starting at all this year outside of the offseason. I think you might as well. But give him time to learn. There is zero problem with that. You're not looking to fix this team immediately. There's too many problems. So let it build. Give him time. If the season is like a crapshoot and there's nothing to gain, then at that point, just let him get some reps in, but don't ever put him at risk. At that point, just start putting in the third string when the game's fully lost.
I gave him an A. I thought they added a lot to their defense while they were losing Max Crosby for that little bit. And then the fact that they added all that to their defense and then go and add Max Crosby back because the trade fell through.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. So that automatically gives a huge boost to them because it was gonna be a huge loss of Max Crosby.
100%.
But now that they added all those pieces and got more, added Linderbaum, I think that's also huge. So added Mendoza. I mean, I'll talk about it in a little bit whenever that team comes around. I think Mendoza is going to be a great quarterback if they can add pieces. There's still a few more pieces they need to add. They have Brock Bowers,
but you
I
have
think
like no
immediately,
wide receivers.
Yeah, rookies love tight ends, and I think the fact you have that good of a tight end will automatically help them a lot. They don't really have wide receivers. I think that's going to be a big negative. So that's why I'm saying I don't mind if he doesn't play because he doesn't really have targets to throw to. I think Ashton Jinty's also going to help that out.
Agreed.
But yeah, I gave him an A, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Chargers, I gave a B+. I loved the offensive coordinator hire. I think they invested a lot in the line, spruced up the defense a bit, got some smart pieces to work in a McDaniel. I can never remember his name.
McDaniel?
Yes.
You talking about
Short King.
Short King.
Yeah, I think they got some good pieces to work in like his style of offense, and it's gonna elevate them so much. Like really, the only thing that fell apart was Justin Herbert in the playoffs and that offensive line. So you fix the line a little bit more, and really it was bad luck. You have like two of top 10 offensive tackles in the league, and then your guards were trash. They fixed that. If your line stays healthy, I see no reason this team doesn't succeed. There wasn't much to work on, and they worked on it. So I got no notes, really. I thought it was a good job. You could have done more technically, but that was kind of me being nitpicky. I could have given him an A and felt good about it.
Yeah, I gave him a C+. I'm not. There wasn't anything, in my opinion, crazy enough to give anything higher. It wasn't anything negative. It just wasn't.
I think the OC hire gave me.
I think the OC hire was definitely really good. Yeah, but besides that.
Yeah.
I feel like they would have had to add something that was just like, ooh, for it to be a B. But I think overall, C plus is still, I think, really good. It was not a negative. So C's get degrees or whatever, D's get degrees.
Amen.
So, they had definitely still a positive offseason. But yeah, very short. I don't really have much to say about them.
Yeah, not much to say at all. I gave him a C as well, C plus. Chargers are Chargers. They'll get to the first round of the playoffs and then they'll lose.
Yep.
So
and then Herbert will fall apart. Jumping into the NFC North, I'm gonna speed round it because they're all kind of the same.
They didn't do anything.
I gave Lions a B, Bears a B+, Vikings a B, and the Packers a C.
I switched that. I gave the Vikings a C, and I gave the Packers. I don't know. I kind of just threw the letter out there. I'll give them a B. I'll stick to it. I think that whole division kind of just is going to be the same. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, Bears 100% in my opinion. I'm going to actually switch that. Bears got a C. I forgot. They lost their whole secondary.
They did, but a lot of their secondary was older and the defense wasn't good. It was
but they didn't add anything to fix it.
They got a few pieces to fix it up. They got an edge, I believe. They got some new secondary pieces. I think they're about the same as they were before, but they made more moves than the other teams. Like the Lions are about the same. The Vikings, I liked some of the stuff, but they lost a lot of pieces. I just really liked the Kyler Murray pickup, honestly. That did help them out a lot. And that team is also really close. So I think they just kind of did some stuff that was smart. Packers just kind of lost things. I don't feel like they really did anything. So I was like, whatever, C. But I'm not passionate about any of the teams in this division's offseason. I think no one really looks that different. If they do, it's not really for the better.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my turn?
Yeah. We're talking about the NFC North because I kind of don't have that much to say.
Yeah, so whatever. Lions. Yeah, I gave Lions a B. Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's just gonna cry at the end of the playoffs when he loses because they always fumble it at the end. Like so.
He goes for it on 4th and 15, and it doesn't quite pan out. And then you look and see that there's 3 quarters left, and you're like, that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Packers C. They're fine. They've gone up in recent years, but they can't really capitalize on much. Let's see. Bears, I give him a B for Ben Johnson. I trust that man with everything. Caleb Williams, they tweaked some things here and there. I trust them that they will make it to the playoffs again. What was it? Oh, the Vikings. I'll give him a C.
Yeah, I think
they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. NFC South, kind of similar for me. I gave the Buccaneers an A+/a D. The A+ was for picking Ruben Bain because I think he's going to terrorize the NFL. Did you guys see how he walked out after getting drafted? He came out. Everybody was like checking their hair and putting their hat on. This man snatched that hat and just walked out there. Didn't even look. He's gonna destroy people. But other than that, everything about the team got worse. Yeah. So I don't actually think they had a good offseason, but I think Ruben Bain will single-handedly make it better. Saints B+, Panthers B-, Falcons C. I think none of these teams did a ton. Saints did the most, and it looked pretty good. Panthers did okay. Falcons, I don't like Tua. I don't love Kevin Stefanski. And I don't think the offense looks that much better. So I'm kind of like, you still got a fucking mess at quarterback. James Pierce looks like he's going to come back maybe, but that's still looking real spotty. So like the team's still just kind of a mess, and they're still in a bit of a cap hell situation. So I don't foresee them getting much better this year, but they were decent last year.
Yeah. I gave the Bucs a C. I gave the Saints an A, and I'll talk about that real shortly. I gave the Panthers a C and Falcons. I'm going to give them an L because of Stefanski. That's just, again, I hate Stefanski, so that's just how it's going to be. People may hate that. I think Stefanski is the worst. Saints, I gave it A. I really like that they added Travis Etienne. I think the fact that Kamara is kind of on
a... We learned.
Oh, sorry. Right.
We learned Travis, that we've been saying his name wrong the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. We did. Yeah. So Travis Etienne. There you go.
I'm not gonna try to say it with the accent, but I'll do my. I'm trying to be respectful. This is not me trying to be rude. It'll be worse if I try to say.
Yeah, and then Jordan Tyson now being wide receiver 2 for him, I think is huge. So, but the rest of the division is kind of just meh. But yeah, I think those two right there immediately makes their offense, I thought, was really good. I think Tyler Shuck's going to be really good. Chris Olave will probably have another great year. So adding another wide receiver to now get the eyes off of only Chris Olave, and then adding in a running back for him now that Kamara's out the door. Yeah. Pretty much. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah, I give a F to all this whole division.
That's fine.
Like,
I'm fine with that, honestly.
Just the division.
The division, not the teams.
Yeah,
gotcha. I think that's fair. This is the worst division in football.
Yeah, the Buccaneers are an embarrassment because they couldn't even get past the Panthers this year. It was just like a back and forth between them, and the Panthers still got in by default. I think.
Yeah, they literally won that game, and the Panthers got in because it
was the battle of 500
won or whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Any teams over 500 pretty much made playoffs.
Weren't they like 7-9 or something?
They were 8-7, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I think like 3 teams were 8-7. It was a mess.
Just terrible. Buccaneers got an A for the draft. Saints. C. And Panthers, Y. I gave him a B. And Falcons, I gave him a C because changing your colors for your uniform ain't gonna do nothing. So, and F for the whole division, frustrating.
NFC East, we've got the better New Jersey team here. I did A- for the Giants, B for the Commanders, kind of, I guess. I really didn't feel good about that. I'm going to change to a B-. Eagles B+, Cowboys B+.
Yeah. I'm the same. A-. I gave Commanders C, Eagles a B, and Cowboys a B-.
Yep.
Never going to give too much love to the Cowboys. I think Cowboys fans, Cowgirl fans, should just be in their place. It's never going to be your year. Y'all's time is done. You're going to be the team that always believes it's your year, but it's not.
That offense was insane. But their
defense is so bad.
They invested in the defense. They got some very good pieces.
They got Caleb Downs.
They got some good pieces. They got 3 edge players to make up for the Micah Parsons trade.
I still gave them a B.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's still a little
all
bit
these
low.
teams did pretty good. Yeah. I think the Giants were definitely the standout. They had a great draft.
I think Giants get an A+ if they don't take, Francis
Mauigoa?
Yeah, whatever, however you want to say his last name. If they took Caleb Downs there, I think that would have been way better. I think their offense is good. I think they're about to get Malik Neighbors back. Hopefully Cam Scatterboot comes back, also good. I think Jackson Dart, in my opinion, is phenomenal. Personally, I think as long as he's healthy and if he gets smarten up a little bit on his injuries, I think he will be fine, and I think it will only continue to get better now that he'll have Malik Neighbors hopefully back. They did lose Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm a huge fan of Wan'Dale Robinson. A lot of people are like, who? He
No,
got
I
1,000.
agree. I think he's pretty good.
I think he kind of showed that if it comes down to it and he needs it, he can do what he needs to do. He got 1,000 yards. Yeah. I think, is that anything to write home about? No, but I think he did prove it, but he's gone now, so,
in that mess of an offense, 1,000 yards is pretty good. And it was a mess of a season. No Malik Neighbors, Scatabo dies. Jackson Dart was in and out of the
here or there.
Like he was trying to move in. Like the whole team was a shit show. So it looks a lot better. I don't have ultimate faith in Harbaugh, but I think they did pretty good. Yeah. Commanders, they're such a fucking mess, but they made good moves and they got some great players. Eagles, you improved your players a little bit. You lost a bunch of stuff.
You're going to lose A.J. Brown at June 1st.
I really feel like the team is plenty good. You just need to fix your locker room, and I don't know that they've done that, but trading A.J. Brown will help maybe. And Cowboys, you invest in the defense, it looks better, but I don't know how much better. New DC. So, all these teams I thought did pretty good. I don't know that the division's going to look completely different. I think it'll be pretty much the same, other than the Giants maybe being a bit better.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Great team, great players, great coaches, great staff.
I'm probably a little biased on the Giants because I did enjoy seeing them play last year, so
Fair.
I gave them an A+ for the Giants.
I mean, I think we both gave them A's, right?
Yeah, I gave them an A-, but and that's because I'm a little harsh on Harbaugh. Honestly, I think an A+ is fair. I wouldn't have made all the picks that they did, but I do think they've made some very smart moves and changed this team dramatically in a short time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them play this year. I'm hyped for them. Commanders, I gave them a B. Eagles, I gave them a B+ as well.
See that B+.
I enjoyed.
What'd you give the Cowboys?
The Cowboys, bro. I give them an A++.
Tony Romo's coming back. Did you hear?
This is the Cowboys' year.
We're getting to the playoffs, boys. Did you know C.J. Stroud has more playoff wins than Dak Prescott?
Forget Dak Prescott. What about Tony Romo?
All right, it's y'all's year. All right, unanimous. It's unanimous. It's y'all's year, I guess.
It's gonna be our year. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
NFC West.
Moving on.
NFC West. Cardinals, I gave a C+. Rams, I gave a B-. The Super Bowl winning Seahawks, I gave a B. And the Niners got my only other F. The Niners all season was awful. They found the oldest people they could and collected them like the fucking Infinity Stones, and the team will crumble to dust. I do not understand what you're doing. Rams, I hate the Ty Simpson pickup. I think it makes sense long term, but if you're trying to win now, why the fuck do you do that? And you can get so many quarterbacks next year. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Seahawks, you just lost a bunch of shit, but they're smart. They did what they could. You always lose a ton of pieces when you win a Super Bowl, but I think they managed it as best they could. And then Cardinals suck ass, and that's C+ for Cardinals. I like Jeremiah Love, but the team's gonna be bad.
I did a C for Cardinals, C for Seahawks. I did B+ for the Rams, and I did only because my brother's a Niner fan, so I'm not gonna harp too much on him. I give him a B. I just give him right in the middle, just no bad blood between me and my brother. I really like the Ty Simpson. I think the team's good enough to continue to do really well. I think Ty Simpson going there now to sit with Sean McVay to go in and sit behind Matthew Stafford, I think is going to be huge.
13 though. I think I would have been a lot more okay with it if they traded back and got other value.
But who knows? There was a chance that the Jets might have taken him at 16. They couldn't have gone that much further.
But you could go back to 15 even. And I don't know if the Jets grabbed
how much is it worth it to go back a couple picks? They get what?
I don't know.
A fifth or a sixth?
I'm just not in love with it. I like Ty Simpson as a player, and I think this is the ideal situation for him. I like getting someone for Stafford. I just didn't love doing it here. I would have rather take a bigger swing on Taylor Green real late because he's an athletic freak that just needs to be refined. So fuck it, grab him. I
think when you have a guy right there, I think when your team's that good, personally, their team is still real. Their team is super good, even with all the Puka Nacua drama that's going on. He's still gonna probably give you 1,500 receiving yards.
Easy.
And the fact that Ty Simpson gets to again Me personally, I feel like Ty Simpson went to the best spot he could have gone.
He
There
did.
wasn't another team that could have picked him up that is and in my opinion, he either does really well because of who he's sitting behind and who his coach is, or he does bad. But I think he would have done bad anywhere else. I don't think I genuinely feel like this is the best spot he could have gone, in my opinion.
You know what they should have grabbed? A wide receiver. Because you have Puka Nakua, you have Devontae Adams, who's old. Name another receiver for them.
Well, you don't need another receiver when you have Puka. Puka's doing the workload
but
of two
he
guys.
did get injured a couple of times, and
he'll
Devontae,
be
it's
all right.
very easy for him to get injured. He's older, and it's Puka, and then who else? And he'll still catch the ball if he's triple teamed. I don't care, but I would have liked to see them grab a solid rookie wide receiver, and there was plenty available. I think that would have been the one thing I think could have really just given you everything you need. They have all that they need, but giving you that one extra piece of protection. Ty Simpson is a play for next season or the season after. I would have liked them to get the piece for today, but that's really my only knock on them. I liked the trade with the Chiefs for upping that secondary. I think this team is damn near the best in football. So I'm not trying to knock them too hard. I wasn't super impressed by the offseason in totality.
Yeah,
Nice.
took the words right out of my mouth. But
That's how we do it here, baby.
Yeah, this type of podcast. So yeah, Seahawks. I gave them a B+. I mean, solid defense. Won the Super Bowl. I mean, are they gonna be able to transfer that energy onto the next year? Who knows? Will they win again? Probably not. I think there's only been a few that's won back to back.
There's never been a three-peat. I think there's only been a handful of two-peats even.
Probably
Chiefs.
Probably from the Patriots.
Chiefs, Patriots,
Chiefs, and New York.
The Niners.
The Niners.
Yeah, the Niners way back when in the 80s.
Yeah, back
they won
then.
a couple back to back. I think the Cowboys.
Back when Joe Montana.
No, the Cowboys had a
was the
gap.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does not happen very often because you lose so many people. I think it's really hard to win back to back. The Seahawks maybe could, but you lost a lot this season. Offensive coordinator, a ton of players. I don't know that all of those are going to show, but I do think they'll be worse enough in one of the best divisions that they may not be able to go all the way.
Yeah. Let's see. 49ers, yeah. It's a big D for them. A big D because I might be biased on the 49ers because I love Purdy, but they just didn't do anything. And
They elected Mike Evans and got the oldest people in the draft.
They did. They
And
did get the oldest people.
yeah,
I don't know what the fascination is with old dudes, but that's all that they seem to want.
yeah. Man, they were such a if they will all stay healthy, they would be an ultimate team.
But they keep drafting out of the retirement home, and it's
Yeah.
tough,
Yeah.
breaking hips on their way out the door.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but it is what it is. Cardinals, I gave them. They're fine. I feel like they needed more offense, and they did get that. What did they get? They get
They got Jeremiah Love.
Yeah,
I just don't
Jeremiah
think
Love.
they're ready for him. But I think he might do better than Genti. I think he's overall a better running back than Genti. So in a similar situation of not having a good line and not having a quarterback, I could see him succeeding a bit more. But I still feel like that whole team is just such a mess that they've made some good moves, but mostly they're kind of just prepping for the future. They had to eat a shit ton of money from Kyler Murray, so it's just kind of a mess.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, maybe they could have used somebody that they could work with, but it's Arizona. They'll always be.
They'll always be right in the middle, baby.
Yeah.
They're paying $50 million to a rookie running back right now.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking over there in Arizona. So I gave him a C.
C for Cardinal.
Alrighty.
And with that, you guys want to do the game, or you want to talk about our favorite teams?
We can skip the favorite teams. We can talk about them. I don't mind. I'll keep mine short.
Okay. Talk to me
Yeah.
about the Jets.
All right.
We're gonna
real
quick.
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna kind of just deep dive into the Jets real quick, and go back to what I gave them a grade. I gave them an A.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I gave them an A, either A or A minus. I don't quite remember. I know it was really high for the future. I still think the Jets are going to be really bad this year. I think we're going to be the worst team. Oh, I take it back. We might actually not be worse than Miami now. I think it's going to be a runner of the worst teams. We aren't going to do better than Bills, and definitely won't do better than the Patriots. But for the bright side of the future, we have 3 firsts next year. I believe it's 2 firsts after that, and I want to say we're gonna have like $140 million in cap space, maybe more. Kind of just depends on what happens during the offseason with if we keep anyone, get rid of anyone, everything like that. But that's what I'm really excited about is next year with how good the draft's gonna be. I've been super stoked about next year's draft, especially because we have 3. There's a lot of teams that are trying to get in more into 2027. We have 3.
Stacked.
Yeah,
next year's draft.
Next year is going to be very stacked. I did not like David Bailey when we drafted him. I started watching a little bit more because it was so heavily Arvell Reese or bust that I didn't really go and be like, there's even a chance at David Bailey. I think I'm actually there's 2 sides of it. Arvell Reese, I think is going to be really good. I think he could be exceptional. I think he has a higher chance of a really bad floor.
I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I like the David Bailey pickup a fair bit. I also had a moment there where they picked him and I was like, eh. The thing with Arvell Reese, I think he's going to be great. I think he is great. He is a linebacker.
Yeah.
He plays edge and he plays it pretty well, but he is a linebacker. And at the end of the day, I think grabbing a core edge piece before you grab a core linebacker that you can convert to an edge and then see how it goes. Like, I like grabbing the edge first and accepting that you don't get the linebacker. So I do think it was the best pick for them.
And then after the draft, after I started watching film and everything like that and looking at everything, kind of seeing how everyone felt about it, I think there's still a lot of people upset that we didn't take Arvell Reese. I personally think it is who is going to affect the defense first, and it's 100% David Bailey. He's a guy who his last 2 years in college I think his last year he just had 14, and I think he was pretty close his year before that. Yeah. So I think everyone can agree he's unanimously the number 1 defensive end, and we got him. I think he's going to come in with Will McDonald and have a great first year. I personally like Kenyon Sadiq. I think there's a lot of people that are like, why would you take it? That's more of but a lot of people are like, oh, that's more of a luxury pick. I personally think we haven't had a tight end. Our best tight end was Conklin.
Yeah, no, I like the Kenyon Sadiq pickup. He was obviously the best one.
I think 100%, and then he's going to be a matchup nightmare. I think he runs a 4.39, and so the only matchup he's going to have is a linebacker. Is there another linebacker that's running 4.4 under 4.4? No, and he's 6'4". He's just fast. He's got great hands, in my opinion. I also love the fact that we traded back up for Omar Cooper. I didn't think Omar Cooper was going to fall to 27. We took him late. It was late.
It was the last 6 or so
weeks. So I didn't think we were going to trade back up. I kind of made a joking comment that this kind of reminded me of the year we took Sauce, Jeremiah, or Jermaine Johnson, and Garrett Wilson. It was like, oh, we're going to get another first. Didn't think that was going to happen in a million years. Well, we did it. We took Omar Cooper Jr. I personally thought that was a great pickup late. I don't think we could have gotten them in the first. I think moving up and just cutting out any chance. We had the first pick in the second. We traded up and used that. So there was a chance he could have fallen. There was also a chance he wouldn't have fallen. So I'm glad that we kind of just got the what if out of the way and just took him. I'm excited about our new OC. I think Frank Wright is going to do a whole lot better than our OC last year. I'm glad. And I'm kind of speed running it, doing it really fast. Hopefully Aaron Glenn can just come in on defense. Now he's just worrying about defense. He was just the coach. We had our OC and we had our defense coordinator last year. Hopefully he kind of comes in and sets the tone for us. We did lose really big pieces last year, but hopefully with adding D'Angelo Pond, who we picked up in the second round, he is short. A lot of people can be like, oh, he's 5'9", he's into nothing. He had the highest vertical. I think he had one of the longest long jumps. He had, his stats speak for themselves. He's always been 5'9", and he was, I think he was the 4th cornerback or the 3rd cornerback taken in the draft. He was one of the top cornerbacks. He was in the second round, so he couldn't have been that low.
This is not a great corner draft.
It's not a great corner draft, but he's no Sauce.
Yeah, let's be real. You didn't get Mansour Delane, but you weren't going to. So, you take who you can get.
Take who you can. He's 5'9", but I think he just, with his athletic ability, I think will come right in. I mean, Aaron Glenn is not also a very big cornerback either, and and he had a great year, and D'Angelo Pons' comparison was Aaron Glenn, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's like, okay, well, let's just take him. I that probably wasn't the reason why they took him, but I think it's funny that was his comparison, and now he's our head coach. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think our future is bright. Having 3 first-round picks next year, we have, I think, 2 or 3 second-round picks that year as well. So we can easily move back up for a 4th first-round pick in that year. I think that would be huge. So I personally think we have a very bright future. I'm also going to be realistic. We are the Jets. We love fucking shit up. Shout out Bart Scott. Can't wait to the reporter when he asked, "Are you ready for the Steelers?" He said, "Can't wait," and we fucking lost and haven't been shit since. But but I'm optimistic. I really hope with Mogi. I think Mogi's been our best general manager that we've had in a while. So we'll kind of see what that happens with that. But yeah, I'm excited for the future. We're gonna suck this year again.
Yeah.
No shock to anyone. We added some pieces that are gonna help. Getting a quarterback next year is gonna help a lot as well. And then now we'll have. Hopefully, if Omar Cooper pans out and Kenyon Sadiq, that's going to be really well. There's talk of Breece Hall getting his contract extension and not going anywhere. That will be huge. So then we'll have Garrett Wilson with a rookie quarterback for 2 years, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and Breece Hall all there, no matter what. And then now we'll just add to our O-line in the offseason or the draft and continue adding to our defense. But yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm a Jets fan. I'm going to be optimistic, but I'm also a realist. We still suck.
Yeah, I think that's... Took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say. This is not going to be like the turnaround year. I think the Raiders have a higher chance of like immediately looking a lot better. But I think the Jets have gotten a ton of core guys you can build around. You still don't really have the quarterback, so it's not like you're going to turn it around instantly.
Hence why I didn't bring him up once.
Yeah, like it doesn't really matter. In all honesty, he could be back to kind of like historical form, not Raiders form, and I think that's very likely because the Raiders were a shit show.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to turn it around instantly. But you did everything that you could. This was not the draft to get a quarterback.
No.
Like you're not picking Ty Simpson second. Fuck off.
Oh my!
So,
I wouldn't have been surprised if the Jets did that. Honestly.
I saw it in a couple mock drafts, and I was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You want a guy that's got 6 starts to start for your fucking team? You picked him second? Like, no. When you need everything basically because you traded away everything, like. No, I think the Jets did everything that they could. It was a very smart offseason. They tore everything down and they're starting over, and they picked up a bunch of great people to do that. They have 1 million picks next year. Like, I don't think this is the year, but it shouldn't be. Like, don't tank, but like tank. You know, grab a great quarterback next season, and then you're good to go. Honestly, a few smart picks next year, and I think this team's ready.
Yeah, I think then at that point, obviously I'm not gonna say we're Super Bowl bound, but at least we're gonna be competitive again.
Yeah, I think you're back
so
to being like a
that's
playoff
more what
contender.
I'm excited. Yeah, 100% we're gonna be just a contender for playoffs, and we'll see what happens after that. But I'm not gonna say, next year then we're gonna make the Super Bowl. We'll hopefully be in contention with making playoffs again, which I'm excited about. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're only excited about making playoffs?" Yeah,
Start small, brother.
Let's go. But go and look at our history since the last time we made the playoffs. Which, shout out Mark Sanchez, forever will be special in my heart. We've gone further, and 8 Texans fans out there. Hey, the Jets may suck, but we've gone further than y'all have in y'all's whole franchise.
Yeah, in the 60s.
We made the AFC Championship twice since y'all been around.
How'd that go?
We made the AFC Championship twice.
Well said. Yeah, can't argue that. Hey, but we're good now, okay?
Yeah.
We weren't good for 20 years, but we're good now, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, that's my end of my spiel. We suck. Hopefully we won't suck soon.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah, go Jets.
Go Jets.
Go Jets. Jets.
Jaime, you want to talk about the Texans next, or you want me to hit up the Ravens?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. Established in 2001.
I'll take this last one in a second. I got one more left.
We started off as the Oilers, right? So 2001, we gave that shitty label to the Titans, and now we're the Bulls of Texas. Okay. Yeah, where do I even begin with this team? With this team, let me just get the elephant out of the room.
D'Amico Ryans.
Yes, D'Amico Ryans. What a offensive coordinator, but his defense is better than his offense. So I don't know what that says about him.
Wasn't he defensive?
No, he's an offensive. No, he's offense. He's
a defensive guy. I don't give a fuck.
He's an offensive coach, but his defense is better than his offense. So I don't know what this is about him. I don't know what this is about, like how his coaching method is.
Who are you talking about?
D'Amico.
What's D'Amico
D'Amico is not an offensive player.
No, he's an offensive coach.
No, he's the head coach.
Yeah, but he's an offensive.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I was pulling my notes back up. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty sure.
He was named Pro Football. Was he an OC?
No, not a player, but
no. But was he an offensive coordinator first? Actually,
he was an off. He's like he specializes in the offense.
I just haven't heard that before. I'm not doubting you. I just doubted you. You know.
Yeah. Well, while you look that up, it's like he specializes on the offense, but his defense is better than his offense. So people kind of question his training methods, and people kind of questioning like what's up with that.
No, he was at DC with the Niners.
Yeah, he played DC. He played defense, but
no. He was the defensive coordinator with the Niners.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
So take it back.
And a former linebacker as well. So
take it back.
Take it back. Take it back now. Take it back.
All right, take it back.
Now apologize.
I apologize to D'Amico Ryans and the state of Texas and a Fort Bend County.
All right, you're forgiven.
And it's cracking time.
Cracking another one.
Just cracked him. Okay, go ahead.
All right, here's a hot take. Davis Mills. Throw him in for a couple of games. No, not really.
Okay. I was about to set this shit down for a second. I was like, I'm about to yell.
No, but there has been talk about him getting sent to some other team, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
No less than a second for me. You know, like
he's
the best backup in football, low key. I mean, you got other guys in contention for that, like Mac Jones and shit. But why would you trade him away without getting like big value? You know?
Yeah,
I don't think many teams would give that.
Yeah, he seems pretty content. No, you good.
I love the Texans.
Yeah, we all Texans except for this guy.
I like the Texans. I will root for the Texans as long as they don't play the Jets.
What was his grade? A C? He gave the Texans a C.
That's a lie. I have it right here. Look at this. That's a lie.
Roll the tape back.
Roll the tape back. A+ for the Texans. What are we talking about? I gave them high praise.
And then you just talk shit about how we haven't made it to the AFC Championship. Like, that's the end-all, be-all.
Hey,
what, is it all down to one big game or something for you two?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Continue.
What's it called? Oh, yeah, so David Mills, it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere, and he's content to where he is. Like he said, he's a pretty good secondary, and I don't hate him. When he came in, he played for 3 games, and he won all 3 of them, barely. But, hey, I've known...
He got the job done.
Yeah, he got the job done because our O-line sucks at blocking for our quarterback and gave him a concussion. So, hopefully that's not a repeat for this year, and with...
Yeah, man's skull got cracked.
I know that man was out for 3 games, and hopefully he's back and he's better than ever. And CJ Stroud is our thing that's kind of holding us back here. A lot of people, like, you look online and everybody's like, yeah, get rid of CJ Stroud. He's trash. He's holding the Texans back. He's wasting a good defense, and I want to agree, but at the same time, I was like, I'm a Texas fan first, so I kind of want to put faith on D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud, and I just want to give him this next year to see if he pulls it together and kind of give us our 2024 C.J. Stroud, right?
What was the rookie year? Yeah, 2024.
Yeah, 2024 C.J. Stroud.
Like I said earlier, I think it's hard to blame C.J. all the way because he's been getting sacked like a motherfucker. So I'm like,
yeah.
You know, is he been a problem? Yes. 9 turnovers is unacceptable. But also, when you're getting sacked every other play, you're probably getting the ball out pretty quick. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm with our first pick on the number 26, Kalen Rutledge. Hopefully that adds some kind of defense for CJ. And as far as like that goes, like our we still need offense. Or like he said, our offense is not perfect, but we did get some
pieces.
What do you call it? Yeah, we did get some pieces for that, and hopefully it doesn't put us into a.
I will also chime in real quick. Y'all want 2023 CJ Stroud back his rookie year?
Yeah.
Where he had 4,100 passing yards. Was it 20?
He broke a bunch of records.
Yeah, I think he holds almost every rookie record. So, but yeah, that's definitely the year y'all want. I think 2024 is also a huge jump from his last year.
Yeah, it wasn't
wasn't as good
the
as
second
the first
year was a bit of a slump, but he still looked.
But I think
good.
when you break multiple records and you win Rookie of the Year, I think it's pretty hard unless you're winning MVP and either breaking records or just having an even better year. I mean, it's pretty hard to go back to back like that. Yes. I think still throwing 2,800 receiving or passing yards, I think it's still really big. I think he had 20 plus passing touchdowns. I think it was very, very low.
But there was also a lot of injuries, both to the line. Nico Collins was out a ton.
Yeah, he had over 20 total touchdowns with, I think it was 12. So it was definitely a jump up from his first year. But I think it's still a really good year last year. But then his first year. But I think this last year was abysmal. I think this was by far his worst. But you can't put all the blame on him.
Yeah, 2023 CJ Stroud or 2024 CJ Stroud. I think we would have been. I think that we would have been fine with.
You guys make the Super Bowl if you had either one of those.
Facts. 24 CJ Stroud, we make the Super Bowl, and low key, I don't. I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, but I feel like it would have been a game. You know, I would have if I was betting. I would have been. Then I think it's the Texans, but. If it's 24, I'd be like, I'd bet on the Seahawks if I was going to put money on it. But, like, the Texans very much have very good chances, you know. But not with this iteration, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, key things to note. David Montgomery, running back, coming from the Lions to us, which is should build up our team at pretty high. Sucks for Joe. What happened to Joe Mixon? He's not going to be part of us anymore. I enjoyed watching him, but
is he even alive? Has someone seen him?
Yeah. Did he even exist? Was he even part of the team?
Because like I've seen some tweets, but like when was the last time someone saw this man? The GM was asked about like, are you keeping him or not? And he was like, I think he needs another surgery or something. Like he didn't even know. Where is Mixon? He's gone now, so like
it's
whatever.
Not where's Waldo anymore.
Where's Mixon, bro? What happened to this man? It was an off-season foot injury, and then he just never came back.
Yeah, dude got injured. And he just disappeared into the void or something.
That age.
Yeah,
I think
it
was
age. I think it's
30,
too late
31,
now. And
no,
he's
like,
not. Fuck it.
He's not that old. I think he might be 30 this year.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I have to double check.
I don't think he's.
I know he was getting to like that running back breaking point or whatever that people always want to talk about at 30. But either way, I don't know what the hell happened to him. But he's not here, and I love Woody Marks, but
nothing special.
Some time, or he just
there's nothing special besides Nico on y'all's offense right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So for some of y'all watching, hearing that he's not going to be back, I'm sorry. They had to hear it this way. I just found out too. Like I was waiting for him to come back. I was like, when is he coming back? And I just realized they just released him. So
yeah, they quietly just cut him.
Yeah, it was just like you had to look it up. It wasn't announced. No press conference. No nothing. No email. I didn't get no email.
You can only find it on Reddit actually.
Yeah. So
just one tweet from him that says like "cut by the way." Yeah, he just changed his LinkedIn.
He's the hashtag I'm free.
he changed his LinkedIn status from employed to unemployed. That was the only hint.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm looking at the notes right now. I think I'm not excited about what's about to come.
Yeah. Well, Mixon, I salute you. Thanks for your services, and hopefully, I don't know, good for. Hopefully you find your next calling.
Is it your turn, Grayson?
You got any other hot
Do
takes?
I have anything?
Davis Mills to the playoffs?
Give us a projection. What do you think you're going to do this year?
Super Bowl.
Hey, I've heard that.
I dead ass. Looking at the AFC right now, Super Bowl. Anything can happen.
If CJ Stroud gets his shit together,
that's the only
I can see a lot of the games.
We should start with the AFC Championship. Let's just start with that.
Yeah.
But look at the top dogs. The Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens are also a mess. I'll talk about it.
Unfortunately, got to get past the Broncos and the Patriots.
The Patriots look like they're a mess. The Broncos,
Yeah, Drake May. May.
But who knows? They're gonna have a lot tougher schedule. So like, I don't know if I'm gonna worry. And if it was not in a fucking blizzard, and if CJ didn't just like hand them the ball a bunch of times, we win that game. And then we play against like Stidham, we win that game. And then we go to the Super Bowl. So you know, like we were right there, but then like CJ just completely fumbled the bag and the line. I mean, the center also fumbled the ball like 4 times. He looked like I legitimately had to Google if we had a backup center in because it was such a bad performance from him. Half the fumbles were because the center just fumbled the snap. So
I think it's time to get to the Ravens now for you.
You're just excited to hear me talk about the Ravens?
Not really. I'm excited to dog on y'all.
Just one last point. What's his name? Wade Woodass, funny ass name. I think he was 4th round pick, 123. So I just thought it was funny to point out.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, our defense is the best defense in all defenses, and
it's like a top 5 defense of all time, like dead ass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like 85 Bears who, but like it's up there.
I think you have obviously the Steel Curtain, the sack exchange for New York.
Yeah, and then you gotta talk about like 2000 Ravens. And stuff.
The 2009 Jets. Unfortunately, I have to still put them up there. I think the Steel Curtain, the Jets being the Steel Curtain, the sack exchange for the Jets is still one of the top defenses. I still think the 2009 Jets, if you go and look at those stats with Darrelle Revis, is great. But I still would put y'all right there with them.
Yeah, I honestly think we're like.
I think the Legion of Boom is also there as well.
100%.
But like I said, I'm not a hater on the Texans. I think y'all had and might have next year as well because y'all didn't lose anyone and only added a historic defense that's going to continue to cause. And y'all are signing everyone back.
Yeah,
it's not like you just lost everyone.
No, they're
you just
keep
signing and extending everyone.
The only one I wasn't in love with was Daniil Hunter, and that's just because he is getting older and it's a very intensive position. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of the mind of like, you could trade him for a fucking lion's share to a dumb team that would take a 30-year-old edge.
But why lose him? There's edges that are still 30 plus that are good.
I mean, absolutely.
Myles Garrett.
I mean, Myles Garrett's a fucking freak.
I
but
get that.
Imagine we get like a couple of firsts for Daniil Hunter, and then
I don't think he's
steal
worth a couple
in it.
firsts.
I think we could have gotten it not from a smart team. I don't think a smart team grabs him for a couple of firsts, but I think like
name a non-smart team.
The Cardinals.
Oh, okay, good.
The Jets.
Thought you were looking at me like that.
No, I actually don't think the Jets would have grabbed him because they're building for the future. But like the Cardinals would have grabbed him easily. The Dolphins, the fucking Jacksonville might have tried, but we're not trading in division. I don't want to play against Daniil Hunter a bunch of times, but I had the Buffalo Bills. I think there's a bunch of teams that would have traded like too aggressively for him for no reason, and we could have gotten a haul and then turned that into a young edge that you don't have to pay as much. But he has earned his bag. And he is warranted. I have no issue with keeping him. I was just kind of like, maybe not like the most efficient thing you could have done, but it's not all that football is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to welcome back C.J. Stroud. What's that? Tank Dell. He's coming back. Hopefully he feels a lot better. Nico Collins. Eventually he's going to get his contract extended. Aziz Ansari. He's coming back as well.
Goat. Aziz Ansari is quietly one of the best linebackers in football.
Yeah. Henry To'o. Damn, he's got
one of the best tacklers in football.
I think someone just stuttered when they were giving birth to him.
Pretty much. Yeah. Henry To'o is quietly one of the best tacklers in the NFL.
Yeah, he has 2 commas in his... Or
apostrophes.
Yes, 2 apostrophes.
Jalen Petrie's a fucking man.
He's got commas.
Derek Stingley is one of the best cornerbacks, top 3. Will Anderson Jr.'s top 3.
What else? Jalen
behind
Petrie.
Michael Parsons and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Jalen Petrie, Kamari Lassiter, and Derek Stingley Jr. Junior.
I could. Even Sheldon Rankins. I'm not the biggest fan of our D tackles, but Sheldon Rankins also a fucking behemoth of a man.
Ex-Jet.
Sure. And he I don't know how tall he is. He looks 7.
He had that touchdown for real as well in the playoffs.
Yeah, big man play. Big man
rumbling, stumbling.
That dude's huge. He doesn't like get a ton of sacks or something.
He just is a lane filler.
Huge.
Lane filler. Yeah.
You want to talk about the Ravens? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go
Texans
and talk about it, man.
Let's see what we got.
Okay.
Cheaters.
I've told you guys before. I wouldn't even say I'm currently a giant Ravens fan. I'm a massive Lamar Jackson fan. And I do think the Ravens would be my team if I didn't live in Houston. I love them. I love them so much. What was I saying?
Bring back Lamar.
Pay Lamar.
Are we
whatever
still
he
talking
wants.
about the Ravens?
I think I was just talking about Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
So this offseason is kind of a Colts offseason in a way. Not their actual season, the Colts offseason, but like their real season of two halves. We've got the first half where I cheered. I almost wept when I saw the Ravens were getting Max Crosby. I was so excited. And then we lost a bunch of people, and I was like, Max Crosby, though. That makes up for it. But then we didn't get him.
Cheaters.
And it looked pretty questionable. I will stand behind slightly, like kind of from a distance. Like I'll be back in the background, standing behind them, and you're like, oh, is that him back there? And I'm like...
Yeah.
For the Max Crosby situation, because we'll never see the medical records. There's no way to know. Clearly, they saw something they didn't like. I don't know how much stock I'm putting in the Trey Hendrickson plus Max Crosby situation where they were going to get them both. Would have been sick, though. Imagine with me if that was real life.
Imagine. I'm
But it didn't
imagining.
happen. So the first half of the offseason when we were going to get Max Crosby and then didn't, sucked ass. We lost everyone. Didn't re-sign basically anybody that they could have. Isaiah Likely was a big loss. Tyler Linderbaum is like one of the best centers in the league. That was a giant loss. And there's still a lot of problems with this team, but I think the draft was fantastic. I think they made really good picks. The guard that they grabbed is superb. Zion Young is a fantastic edge. They kind of got him as a steal low-key because he could have gone first round, towards the end of the first round, but very, very good edge. There's been a decent number of moves and trades and things. I think honestly, I'm not even going to get into the nitpicks of like everything that they've done. I feel like there is still issues. The wide receiver room is a problem, but you have the best quarterback in football, and I'll fucking stand on it. You have one of the best running backs in football, showing his age a tiny bit, but if he just holds on to the ball, he's a fucking menace to society. And the defense is starting to get back to kind of that Ravens identity of like physical, beat up sort of energy. You have an offensive coordinator, not a special teams coordinator, that can direct this offense. When you have pieces like a running back that just gets you 10 yards for free and a quarterback that can do anything that you ask him to, you give him some actual fucking protection because the line was abysmal. They don't have a great wide receiver room, but Zay Flowers is fantastic. He's just not a typical wide receiver one.
He's a flashy.
He's
a
very
flashy wide
guy.
receiver. He's just a home run guy.
Yeah, and Rashad Bateman is just never has really panned out, in all honesty. Kind of just looks like whatever. But I do think that there is enough here. Mark Andrews, or the shattered corpse of the man that was once Mark Andrews, still most of the time looks pretty good. I don't think the Ravens should make it all the way. This team is kind of like due for a rebuild, but you really can't because you're in prime. Like Lamar is about to
you can't
start
rebuild
getting
with
slowed
Lamar,
down.
unfortunately.
So you kind of just have to keep rolling it, and I think they did about as good of a job as you could with how messy this offseason was, and that's why I gave them a B-. There's real big lows, but there were some like good recovery. I think they did really all that they could. Trey Hendrickson is a great pickup. Not the greatest. Max Crosby is better than Trey Hendrickson. That's not a hot take. That's a fact. But he's a great consolation prize. You paid him too much, but whatever. I do think the Ravens are going to be a serious contender, especially in a very messy AFC North. I think Lamar could have gotten an MVP 2 seasons ago. This last season was awful, but he was injured off and on very clearly, even if they weren't always talking about it. He was missing a bunch of practices, and I don't think he ever fully healed from whatever was going on. So if you have a healthy Lamar, you have a not fumbling freight train of a man. God, he's such a beast. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm just thinking about his biceps. At running back, this team can be a Super Bowl team on pure energy, on pure talent. They have the things there. Should they? No. Would I bet on it? No. But
I think karma's gonna bite him. Unfortunately, I'm gonna try to give them the benefit. I am going to just be totally honest right now, I think what they did in the offseason with going in, did they trade for it? They didn't trade for Max Crosby, did they?
They essentially set up the full trade, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the point.
I think the
you
fact
could.
that you go and you say you're taking Max Crosby, you go and you do a medical exam, you don't like what you see, and then within 2 hours or whatever it was, very short time, within the same day, you go and you get Trey Hendrickson. I think they were like, whoa, wait, we can get Trey Hendrickson and for probably a little bit cheaper in the long run, and he can arguably do just as well as Max Crosby. I think they had a game plan. I don't think they saved themselves by saying they were going to go for both of them. I personally, and I will die on this hill, I don't care who wants to argue with me about it, they had no intention of signing both. I think they didn't realize they could get Trey Hendrickson, and so they were going to go for Max Crosby, which is the better player.
Yeah.
But I think when they realized, oh, wait, we can actually get Trey Hendrickson, let's just not take both of these guys and spend all of our money on 2 defensive ends, I think they just immediately just backed out. I don't think it was that they saw something, because here's the thing, if they saw something, that would have been reported back to the Raiders, and they wouldn't have let Max Crosby go right straight back to practicing, working out, and everything like that. And they just let him kind of just come back in, and Max Crosby was like, now my full attention's on the Raiders, not my full attention's on rehabbing for the Raiders. He was like, now it's time for the Raiders again. I just feel like it was too quick. If it was like a day later, 2 days later, I could be like, okay, there was something wrong with him. But the fact that it was within 24 hours, not even, within 5 hours of saying, oh, they like dodged it.
The way it went down,
And then
I'm
picked
not
him
going to
up.
defend. I think, number one, this means the NFL needs to change the way that this shit works. The fact you can't trade before this starting point and you
But
can
you
just
can-
like hold them.
Yeah.
and
You
then
can't trade for them, but you can say you want them.
Yeah, and then you can do all the free agency and then start to do the medicals. That's stupid as fuck. We should not.
I love
be
it
letting
for the
that
reason
happen.
of it, but I hate it now because of that.
Yes,
for
this
that
is-
reason
this has soured
specifically,
it, and I
that
think it was
has
due.
that has soured it and made it terrible for that reason. But I love the fact that they get to go that week prior to it opening up and start talking to players. But because of that, I'm like, nah.
No,
I don't
we
like
have to
it.
change
That-
this now, obviously. But the defense that I have for them, the way that they have talked and the way that Trey Hendrickson has talked, it seems like there was a lot of upfront saying it was both. I don't know that I fully believe that one,
I think
but
they're just
there's
saving
enough
themselves.
evidence of like they were discussing it that you can choose to believe it or not. But ultimately, they had several doctors come in, including the Cowboys doctor, who then went back to headquarters, and the Cowboys were no longer interested in Max Crosby. I don't think they found something that was going to be like, you're not playing this season. They found something that was like, there's a good chance of re-aggravating the injury down the line, and like the season after, we won't have him. And at that point, it's too much to give up 2 firsts for a guy that you may not have the following year. And I can't blame them for that, and we can't ever find out because they're not going to release his fucking medical records. The Raiders aren't going to be like, yeah, it turns out that his shit's broke, because they still wanted to see if they could get anything for him. So there's too much hiding that has to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll ever know for sure. It's very easy to see them as the villains. You can choose to see them as like just stuck in a really difficult situation. I'm not going to give them like full pass. It looks bad. It looks really bad.
So bad.
But I will give them enough to say, like, I think that something was found. I don't think you even start the conversation of what if we had Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson unless you truly believe you're going to, like, make that money work. And you don't lose... The biggest thing, you don't lose all these players if you think you're getting both, because you would just sign them and be like, oh, no, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Not, like, lose everybody and be like, fuck, we're screwed now.
I think it's more they found something big enough but still small where they were like, let's just go for Trey. And then they got him. And then we're like, it happens, but I just think it was a little dirty the way they did it and how fast it was. But I'm not a coach. I'm not one of the guys that are going for him. So that's my opinion on it. I think it was just a little too quick with how fast they did a 180 from nah to Trey Hendrickson.
I mean, they kept him through the day and all of that. Like, they seem to have done a lot of different stuff and looked at it very intensely.
Didn't he
and all
say he
sorts of
didn't
things.
even talk to any of I think he came out and he was there was like a like
he did a podcast very soon after.
He said he didn't even talk to the GM
not
or anyone
until
like
he
that.
left.
I
He said that he did talk
I
to
think
the.
it was like a kind of a goodbye thing.
Yeah,
by the end of
basically,
it.
the GM brought him in like when they were like, we can't go through with this because of
which
what's
is
going
crazy
on.
to me. Like if you're that high on taking them, but you don't even go and look at them or talk to them, like
I'm assuming the medical records had already shown up by that point, and they were like, okay, he's here. We kind of got to get this shit in order. So they were like organizing, getting all these doctors in place, like figuring out what tests need to be done. Like I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that happens. Again, it is not a great look, and I'm not going to defend them to the ends of the earth or something like that. Like it's not a great look, but I just feel like you can see enough evidence here of them like not intentionally trying to do like pure foul play. I don't think this is all the way above board, but I don't think that it's pure just them trying to like fuck over the Raiders or something. Like they got way too much loss for it to seem like, we got them. Like they got screwed here. They lost way too many big pieces. Some of them to the Raiders, like Tyler Linderbaum. So we'll never know, but it was a messy ass offseason. I think they did what they could. There's a lot more work to be done. I don't know that they should go all the way into the playoffs even, but in that messy ass division, I think there's a good chance. And if Lamar and Derrick Henry can just show up in the playoffs, then like that team can win a Super Bowl. Just off those two being so fucking.
Sorry, I was agreeing with you in comments.
And he agreed.
No,
those two players alone are talented enough to do it. If anything else can go right.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to that. I mean, Mark Andrews fumbling the ball and missing a kick and all that shit can't happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see. A different OC, different coach, different everything. Like, who knows? But I love my Ravens.
I think it's game time, yo.
Game time. We're gonna
Wants to
play.
explain it.
So we got all these balls over here. Let me pull up the actual rules.
I got it right here.
Oh, he's got it right there.
Yeah, I got it right here. All right. The game we're gonna play today is called Kobe or Chef Curry, however you wanna.
Depending on
depending on your generation or whatever it is, but it's what's gonna happen is we're all gonna grab a paper ball. We're gonna try to shoot it into the trash can. If you miss it, what's gonna happen is you have to go and take a shot of this Woodford Reserve right here. Shout out if you don't know what Woodford Reserve is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, not sponsored anyways. We're definitely not sponsored by them. But you have to take a shot, and you have to say your wildest NFL take. Doesn't matter if it's what they're going to do in the future, if it's a player and where you think they're going to be this year, or if you believe that a player is in a top, 5 or 10 or whatever it may be. Whatever your hottest take is going to be. First person to miss 3 shots and has to take 3 shots loses immediately because we aren't trying to get absolutely obliterated. This could go on all night. But first person to miss 3 shots and take 3 shots loses and the game's over. Y'all ready?
Let's get it.
Alrighty.
Let's get the basket up.
Let's get it going. I think y'all go to that side.
Yeah. So I'll kind of bring the mic over here so I can commentate.
Oh,
Grab
Grayson
our
gets
balls.
things set up.
You call me Christian?
No, I said Grayson.
Okay, good. Wrong guy number 1.
Wrong guy number 1. So where do we
Get
put
these
this
balls.
This goes right here.
I think it's going in the middle, is what I was told. I just work here.
We just get told what to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think anymore. Alright. Is he peeing?
Yeah, he'll be back.
What's it look like in there?
What's it look like?
Yeah, go take a peek. Grab the camera. How big is it? Alright, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Who's
I'm going first?
I'm going first.
Alrighty.
I'm a little buzzing.
Yeah, go for it.
Kobe.
Ooh, what's your hottest take?
Do I take? I'll start pouring the shot while I say this.
Yeah,
take.
go for it.
I think Joe Burrow's gonna pull an Andrew Luck, and he's gonna retire before the season starts. That was so fucking satisfying.
I'm gonna slide over in the middle right here. That isn't just a wild take. That is a astronomically wrong take.
If it's not this season, it's next one. Cheers.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw my ball now.
I did not pour a shot.
I did it.
Oh.
Back here.
Yes, sir. Damn.
Bang. I'm gonna still say a hot take for all my Texans out there. Titans are gonna give you all the run for your money this year. Mark my words. Titans will be better than the Jags, better than the Colts. Not better than y'all, but they're going to at least show you guys that their offseason is a turnaround.
I think that's. I don't even know if that's a hot take. It is a hot take. I think it's a smart take. Honestly, I kind of stand by that one.
I think it's a hot take just because of how far ahead the Texans they are.
Yeah.
How far ahead the Texans are than Tennessee, but I still believe that Tennessee's offseason was so good that they 100% jumped the Colts, and they're going to be better than the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars losing those big pieces, I think, is going to make Tennessee number 2, but not just number 2 where they're like, 500. I personally think that they could give the Texans a run for their money.
The reason I don't think that's like piping hot, it's kind of like the rookie effect when a new player comes in and that like Jaden Daniels and he's got this explosive game and you don't have tape on him, so you don't really know how to prepare. I feel like the Titans have made so many changes in such a short time that it's like you're playing a whole team that has that energy where you just don't really know what to do. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, especially if the play or the division games are early, the Titans like really fucking play and we just don't know what's about to happen.
That's what I'm hoping for. Go ahead. Your shot. You have to...
Back up a little more.
Come here. Yeah.
Crack that. Oh. There you go.
There you go, if you want some distance.
All right.
We were shooting it from all the way back there, so
there you
go ahead and take a long shot.
Oh, bro, it's hard.
He's going to hit the ceiling.
He's going to hit the ceiling.
Careful.
Nice.
I said a hot take and still made it. Go ahead and take a shot and a hot take. Someone pour it for him. Just pour it for him.
Well, I poured like the biggest shot.
Yeah, don't do
They
that.
don't want me.
Don't do that again. I'll take one instead.
So I'm gonna take that as
Yeah.
So take a shot and
take a shot.
Take a shot.
Whatever
Give me a hot take.
Whatever your hottest take is.
What do you stop?
Let's do 3.
Oh, we just each make 3 shots?
No. First person to miss 3.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. First person to miss 3.
Okay.
Right, mic on the mic, so they can hear me. First person to miss 3
Ooh.
take 3 shots
That shit like a champion.
is the loser and then game's over.
Oh, he breathing.
Oh, that's pretty smooth.
It is. We're not sponsored. This is a good ass bourbon. I'll highly recommend it. What's your spicy take?
Oh yeah.
A spicy take. The Cowboys are gonna make it to the Super Bowl this year.
That's not a hot take if half of America believes that.
America's team.
He's trying to dribble it. Y'all can't see. He's trying to dribble this paper ball.
Woo!
You made it.
Nothing but net.
No hot take or nothing needed.
Do I want to get one anyway?
I'll think about it. I do have several. You know what? I am gonna get one more hot take. Well, no, I'll save it. I got a good one. Go. We're getting shown up over here.
Yep.
Tall motherfucker thinks he's good.
An actual athlete is shooting ball.
An actual athlete? Oh, my bad, brother.
Yikes.
Jaime.
Second shot and second.
Second shot, second miss.
All right, what's your next hot take? We'll let him pour a shot first.
Be boring.
Is he? Oh,
I got
that's
the
all right.
heaviest
We'll
hand
give you that. You already took one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take another one. That's
We're trying
fine.
to
That's
let this
fine.
man live.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, we got to make sure you can drive home safely.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly.
Amen.
Drive safe.
I'll drive him home if I have to.
That's
You can't keep me
right.
over
That's
here.
right. None of us will drive home drunk tonight.
I mean, not me. Someone that hasn't had a put. Wait a minute. I don't know if that's better. Someone sober will drive him home.
All right. Back to. Oh wait, no. Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take. Oh Lord, I don't really have a hot take.
You got it. Just think something and say it. Fuck
What?
it.
Is this here?
Yeah, it's empty already. Let's see. Hot take. Let's see.
I believe in you.
What was the one I said the other day? Something about.
Fuck, what did you say the other day? Something about Phillip Rivers because you fucking love talking about Phillip Rivers.
No, it was
No,
Aaron Rodgers
Aaron
being.
Rodgers is top 5. I think you said something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Whoa! Now?
Yeah, he said right now Aaron
Current?
Rodgers
Hang
is
on.
top 5.
Aaron Rodgers, you believe, is current top 5?
Aaron Rodgers is up there.
I can name 20 quarterbacks that take over him.
I'll give him top 20. I'm not giving him top fucking 5.
Nah.
Better than
I'll
Matthew.
name 20 quarterbacks better than him. I can name 20 quarterbacks better than CJ.
I probably could too. I don't feel good about it, but I probably could too.
Kobe. Cash.
Just in case that was the last time, I'm going to say one more hot take really quick. Patrick Mahomes won't make it back to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs.
Bang!
Deflected. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Miss one.
I'm taking a shot. I don't care.
All right, Jaime.
He is flossing on the court. Oh, he's dribbling. Nice. All right, I gotta fucking shoot again. It's getting better.
Someone's got to miss him.
Yeah,
I just took a shot for no reason. I thought one of y'all were going to miss.
I thought he was gonna miss. That's why I was ready to go in.
Woo!
Second shot, everyone.
I got to take a second shot. All right, hot take. Hot take. Damn, I shouldn't have used that extra hot take.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that someone was just going to miss 3 straight times.
Do you want one for me? I do have another.
No, I can probably figure one out. Jackson Dart will be a top 5 quarterback this year.
Damn.
Dang.
You know what?
I'm super high on Jackson Dart, by the way.
If he stayed alive a whole season, I will say, before this, the disaster of the Commanders, I had Jaden Daniel as my 5th in the top 5. I could see Jackson Dart taking that over, so I don't hate it. I don't know that I'm like all the way there, but it also depends on if Justin Herbert can fucking show up for a playoff game.
True. All right, Jaime,
miss.
go ahead and just miss it.
Yeah.
Say your hot take and.
Oh.
Down goes Jaime.
Yeah,
What's your hot take?
Pour
your drink, think about it, no rush.
Yeah.
I do have one more. If you need to phone a friend, I got one more that I know Mike will be pissed about, but I've told him this one before. I've said it a few times actually. I don't think I've said it on camera though.
Yeah. Ty Simpson should have won the Heisman Trophy over Mendoza.
With 6 games? I will say,
Everyone, leave a comment down below if you think Jaime is absolutely wrong on this one.
wait, hear me out.
That's a hot take, but that is a hot wrong take.
If Ty Simpson played every game, honestly, I don't hate it. If he had played like he did those 6 games, maybe. And one more spicy one for y'all before we do the outro. My last hot take: Josh Allen's never making it to the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
I've said that multiple times, and I stand on it.
Yikes.
It's not ever going to be his fault. It will always be the Bills' fault. And with that, ladies, gentlemen, and any others, this has been the Crack a Cold One podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are on YouTube, and I think that's it. But, there's a couple of them on Spotify. We got hopefully a Twitch VOD of the draft live that we'll be putting up soon. Fingers crossed. I'm guy number 1, Grayson.
I'm guy number 2, Jaime.
I don't know why.
And I am last, but not least, guy number 3, Kyle.
Let's give a round of applause to our guest today, Kyle, for being a Jets fan.
Whoa!
And
we appreciate him coming down here to talk about his dumpster fire with us.
Not just a Jets fan. Let's be a realistic Jets fan.
Honestly, I do appreciate that. Christian is a Browns sympathizer, is what he calls it. He lived in Ohio, and he can't support them anymore. But being a sympathizer, which is kind of the energy you're giving.
Sympathizer? No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, you're full fan. You do want to stand with them?
I will die with the Jets.
Okay.
I will never switch, but I'm realist as I know we suck.
That's fair. I always love talking to fans that understand the team. It's so frustrating when you talk to somebody and they're like, best team in football. I'm like,
When fans are like, Jets suck, Chief good.
Yeah,
That's all you
it's
get
like-
out of them.
all right, pal.
Nah.
Hey, Tony Romo's was the best.
Not even the best fucking Cowboys quarterback. How do we keep getting here? God
Yeah.
damn it. All right, that's the Cracker Cold Ones podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week for some more bullshit. We love you.
Hell
Mwah,
yeah.
mwah, mwah. Comment your favorite hot take. Give us some hot takes. Tell us what you want to hear about. Tell Jaime that he's beautiful because he is. Look at him. Give him some. He was having a low self-esteem day, so give him a little something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I lost Magic earlier, so.
Yeah, he got fucking crushed at Magic the Gathering. Bitch. Y'all take it easy. Night night.
Bye, peace. Drive safe. Going home.